no explanation for what happened.
But, I mean, the bottom line is that it's going to be a different experience in the NFL stadiums as if it sounds like a scouting combine. And you've been to a combine. You hear the buzz of this. You hear the buzz of the lights.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. It's just an echo.
It's
like
fun to mix.
somebody's going to like you will hear like Odell Beckham try and one hand grab it and then go down on the ground, and you will hear like you'll hear like the noise of somebody exhaling because their body just hit the ground.
A lot of cursing,
no, I know.
I'm sure. So it's,
I mean, it's
right.
fun to
You'll hear a
sound
lot of
mix
that
the
too.
combine because it's quiet and it's, but it's not.
I mean,
a football game.
I'm going to advocate for that.
Or who's going to complain that their headsets went out, but they heard crowd noise in the headsets?
Oh, I mean,
like in New England, they used to say, "Oh, we got the radio call in my headset."
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. I mean, it's a good idea. Just there's a lot that needs to be ironed
done
out.
right.
Yeah, a lot that needs to be ironed out.
I'll spearhead it.
I want to thank today's guests, Mike Florio, Roger Bennett, Greg Sankey of the SEC. Kevin Bacon was on earlier in this hour. Our final poll results over there, Chris Brockman?
All right, quarterback you'd want for the 2020 season, Kyler Murray, 39%. And is more Fugazi in the 98 season. Del Tufo's Emmy wins 52-48.
There we go. More fake than McGuire Sosa Chase. Congratulations, Mike. You deserve an award for that. Thanks for taking in this edition of The Rich Eisen Show.
Premier League is back.
Can you believe it?
SiriusXM FC has the drama of Liverpool's run to the title, the battle for European places, and the fight to stay up.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
It's Monday Night Football, English style, as reigning champions Manchester City host Burnley. The action begins today at 3 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157.
While everyone is focused on keeping safe, we wanted to let you know how WeatherTech can help protect your vehicle too. I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. Our American-made floor liners and cargo liners protect the carpet and act as a barrier. They can easily be rinsed clean and also sprayed with disinfectant. Our seat protectors can be sanitized and are machine washable. Even the cup phone can be wiped with disinfectant and keeps your phone secure. For the ultimate protection for your vehicle, order today at WeatherTech.com. And let's all stay safe.
They say small business is the backbone of America. Well, we say bull. 99.9% of all businesses in this country are small businesses. That's more than a backbone. That is America. And do you get a guarantee? No. And even if you did, you'd still roll out of bed every morning and you'd still kick butt, because that's what small businesses were born to do. And you know what? So are we. We are Ruby, the remote receptionist who makes small businesses feel like giants. We answer all your calls live from right here in the U.S. We take messages, answer questions, route calls. Everything an in-house receptionist does over the phone, only better. Because we specialize in turning every ring into a relationship. Experience Ruby for yourself. Visit Ruby.com, or better yet, call us 866-GET-RUBY.
Attention business owners, due to the coronavirus, are your accounts receivable slow to be paid or not being paid at all? Now more than ever, does your business need cash while waiting on your customers to pay their 30, 60, or 90-day accounts receivable? AmeriFactors will give you cash for your business-to-business invoices. We simply buy your accounts receivable. While others might be afraid to do business during this time, we aren't. We can give you the funds you need in as little as 4 hours. AmeriFactors advances up to 98% of your receivables for over 30 years. AmeriFactors delivers consistent cash flow, excellent service, and dependable management of accounts receivable. When you mention this ad, we're waiving the application and closing fees. Fund your business today with AmeriFactors. Call now, 800-989-1418. 800-989-1418. 800-989-1418. Or visit us at AmeriFactors.com. That's AmeriFactors.com.
This is Down the Stretch.
If you love horse racing, then join our team as we change stables or channels. Get the latest thoroughbred and harness racing news, interviews, handicapping, and analysis on Down the Stretch every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. You can find us at Dan Patrick Radio, SiriusXM Channel 211, and on the SiriusXM app.
Time for somebody's favorite radio program.
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Well, hello, everybody. Shouldn't have had that bar. I can't hear myself now. Can you crank me up a little bit there, Robin, please? I can't hear myself in the headsets there. Did somebody play with the Gaframistan over the weekend?
I didn't touch it.
Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, welcome. It's a new week. That's much better. Thank you. We are underway down in the bunker in South Philadelphia, where all hell will probably break loose again this week, but not down here, Harry. We're feeling good. We got the air conditioner cranked up. We got the plastic slip cover alert in full effect. Harry's got his I Am Pissed Off shirt on. Miss Robin is here. Ryan Rothstein's here. Joe C. is here.
And I have my beautiful shirt on.
Yes, she has a beautiful shirt, and it's beautiful. And you can get those in the Tony Bruno store, Harry, at TonyBrunoShow.com/store. Maybe in time for the 4th of July. And while you're there, pick up. We should be selling fireworks because everybody's blowing up fireworks now every night. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed it, but I read about it today. That's what's going on a nightly basis.
Yes,
every
not
night.
Just here in South Philly, but all over the city.
Even in the suburbs. Like up in my way, every night that it's, it starts off with a few and then someone will set up a pig pile and it just keeps on going.
Now,
for
the problem is that there's also gunshots in between those.
So you can't tell whether that's... Now, I'm learning to differentiate between gunshots and fireworks going off.
Right.
And I don't believe these people are waiting for the 4th of July, or they can't wait for the 4th. I don't believe this is a patriotic display we're seeing.
So this isn't prep work for some big performance on July 4th.
And, I remember back in the day, not that long ago, you couldn't buy fireworks anywhere. They were illegal.
Well, up until, I think, 2017, I think.
And now you can buy them in Walmart. And, again, these aren't the ones that they put up on big shows. Mm-hmm. But they sell the big Roman candles. And if you've seen the videos, people in New York City are actually buying Roman candles and shooting it. It looks like a Star Wars scene. There are people at night standing around, and they're holding these things sideways, not making them go up in the air like you really don't care.
Or shooting them at people.
They're shooting them at one another. So it looks like a video game, where you're seeing all these streaks. There's 50 people shooting them at each other. Those things are dangerous. Just remember, don't forget, Jason Pierre-Paul. You all want to be JPP. Keep playing around with stupid fireworks. And I love fireworks. But now you can buy them anywhere. You used to have to go down to the south of the border on 95 to buy them. Now, everybody sells fireworks. And that's what happens when you can go into Walmart and buy a big box of fireworks.
Fireworks don't do much for me. No. Never did.
No, the real big shows do. The orchestrated ones. But now there's just too many fireworks.
You've seen one, you've seen them all.
Well, that's kind of nice, but like Tony said, with the music going at the same time, especially if you're near the water and it's reflecting, it's pretty. But I don't enjoy the idea of setting them off myself.
No, never.
I set them off every once in a while. I mean, I had a couple flyers. I had some fireworks going this weekend.
I could see you doing that.
No, I don't really do it.
Going up on the roof?
Well, no. When we lived at dockside over the river, we're 16 stories up.
Right.
And so on the 4th of July, you go outside on your patio, and you can see them all over from New Jersey. You can see. You
it's
just
like
turn
a panoramic view.
Everywhere you look, you saw a firework, and most of them were legal. I'm not talking about the strappers with a couple of firecrackers in the neighborhood.
Did they do them at the concert venue across the river?
Yeah, they do them there. Yeah. They did them in Camden. They did them down at the stadium complex when the Phillies were in town.
How far away you could see fireworks.
As far as the eye can see, but those are legitimate shows. Those are major shells.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, just be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? This is a safety show. Safety first. So there will be no statues torn down on the show today. There will be none of that stuff, Harry. We're just going to have fun today.
Okay.
And we have potential breaking news developing during this show today.
Really?
Yes.
Baseball? Let me guess.
I'm here. I'm getting a lot of emails and I'm getting a lot of tweets now from legitimate people. Mm-hmm. I don't mean some guy who sits around and has a blog and thinks he knows more about baseball than anybody else. I'm talking about legitimate writers are suggesting, Harry, that something may happen today. Now, we thought that on Friday, and then we said, by the weekend, and then baseball pretty much did nothing all weekend, from what I've read.
Right.
And now today, Rob Manfred is scheduled to talk to the media. Now, does that give you any hope, Harry? Have you lost hope at this point?
I don't really have hope regarding this. I mean, if they play, they play. I'll watch the highlight shows every morning and find out what's going on. Every now and then I'll catch a game that interests me. But if they play, great. I'm no longer interested in the back and forth that has been, between the league and the players union and Rob Manfred. It's just it's annoying.
Enough is enough, I believe.
It's annoying.
I have had it. Again, if something happens, by the way, Bob Nightingale is going to join us later in the show. And if something happens today, you'll hear it here first from the legitimate sources, not from people on the internet. You know what I'm saying, Harry?
I mean, I'm seeing stuff over the weekend here of sports writers writing that this inevitable outbreak, second wave of the coronavirus, we should just cancel all
baseball.
Sports now. No, not all sports.
All sports.
Not just baseball. All sports.
And people think we're negative on the show. So sports writers who write about sports don't want sports because 5 guys at a spring training camp tested positive for COVID-19.
Right.
World-class athletes who are all in their 20s. We're worried about the sport dying, I guess.
I don't get it.
And we used to be the most powerful country on earth, and now everybody else is doing sports around the world, and we're the last. We're following behind, all cowering in our homes, worrying about stuff. That's what's happening here, Harry.
Well, we had a horse race over the weekend.
Yes, we did. Everybody had the 8-horse. By the way, anybody taking bows for giving out the 8-horse? Everybody knew the 8-horse.
You ought to be ashamed.
Exactly.
What was it, a 4-5 favorite or something?
And I had the superfecta, Harry. I had all the top 4 horses. Unfortunately, I didn't bet them all together. I just did a bunch of little 50-set superfectas, and I had the 4 top horses, but I didn't do an and all, which is I should have done that, and I would have hit it. But it wasn't big money. I mean,
no, I know.
There was no money to be made in this race. That's the one thing about the Derby going off first. If you hit the superfecta, there's 20 horses.
20 horses,
You're going to get a nice payday out of it. But, it was a fun race to watch, and everybody knew the horse was the best horse, of course. Even though nobody cares about the law, 'tis the law will work out. 'Tis the law, except in all over America. There ain't no law.
Right.
How can 'tis the law win when there 'tis no law?
There is no law.
You talk about an oxymoron. 'Tis the law? Where? Seattle? Philly? Chicago? Portland? Where's the law? Wow. Now, Dean bet a couple of trifectas and superfectas and released them on his site. You know what I'm saying?
Dean has a site?
Well, no, he's putting them on the Twitter feed.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have. He's not a gambling degenerate. Well, he's a gambling degenerate, but
he is a
doesn't
gambling
have a site.
degenerate. Yeah.
But the $8,935 trifecta, $497.50, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's not. That's not a lot of money. I mean, that's nice if you only make one bet and you box those four horses.
It's nice to win, but it's not something that you can be,
$500, is that going to make or break you?
No.
It's not like the one that Tony lost
Don't bring
out
that
of.
up. Don't bring that up again,
The one that he
Robin.
failed to bet but
Yes.
said he was going to bet.
I told you, I'm not Governor Cuomo. I don't blame anybody else for my failures, okay?
Oh, we know who to blame.
I put it all on myself. I
take
screwed
full
up.
responsibility?
I take full responsibility. Of
Like
course,
Andy Reid?
I didn't kill 6,000 grandparents in nursing homes, at least. I just didn't put in a stupid superfecta bet. Jeez.
Well, I should have put a bet in on Webb Simpson.
Absolutely.
That's who I should have
You can't
had.
stop him, Harry.
How about
And
that?
now he's moved into the top 5 of great golfers this year,
Oh,
right?
no question.
I mean, the guy's not flashy. He's not spectacular.
He's got a U.S. Open years ago. He won the Players. He's a good player, man. He was birdied 5 of the last 7 holes.
I know he did.
As they went into dusk down in Hilton Head.
They tore that thing up. Minus 22, Harry. That was like a chip and putt course for those guys.
Well, after the rain came, all these guys are just firing at the sticks. It was fun to watch. I mean, Koepka, every shot into a green, he's firing
Koepka,
right at the
Justin
stick.
Thomas putted well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Jordan Spieth, Harry, he's another one of those guys. A couple years ago, he couldn't lose.
He had a bad
He was
weekend.
the next Tiger Woods, right? All of these young guys who come up.
2015 it was, I
all
believe.
these guys come up, and they're the next Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realize that it may look easy.
But it's hard.
But it's hard, to quote the great Michael Vick.
How about Rory McIlroy finished in the 40s?
Yes.
Way out of the money.
Spieth finished for a tie for 68.
I know.
Even you could go out there and throw off those kinds of numbers, Harry. Come on.
No, I couldn't. DeChambeau kind of fell apart on
I know
Saturday.
he did, man. It's not about just being all jacked up. It's all
No.
about touch in this game, as you well know.
That's right.
Meanwhile, we got a lot of fun coming up today. We'll get into some of the important stuff. We've got NBA talk. We got Brett Favre.
A lot of football stuff. Actually.
Yeah. We got a sucker punch situation in South Dakota. Sucker punched in South Dakota,
That looked
baby.
like a scene out of Deadwood.
Did you see that bar? Because I'm on the internet for Saturday night because we were just sitting around, and I see the story. Mike K. You know Mike K, right?
Sure. Covers the
NJ.com.
Eagles. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And he had the story that his sources said that Dallas Goedert, the Eagles tight end, the second tight end, got sucker punched going out to dinner with his family. Then I saw the video of the event.
Yeah.
What family did he take into that joint? That looked like your basic rundown crappy little bar somewhere in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota.
Well,
Could
there's
be
a lot
anywhere.
of middle of nowhere in South Dakota,
I know there
Tony.
is.
I've been there a few times.
Well, wait, have you been to what's the name of that? Aberdeen? Not Aberdeen,
No.
Maryland. That's where the proving grounds are. The Aberdeen Proving Grounds. Have you been down there?
No, I have not. And
That's bad,
I
no.
haven't been to Aberdeen, South Dakota either.
I don't think anybody has
I've
it. If
been
you
to-
saw some of the characters in there, what family members did Dallas Goedert have in there?
Like family members trying out for the WWE.
Exactly. And man, he got one cold cocked, and luckily he's okay.
That looked like a place where you break chairs over people's
Exactly
backs
right,
and you
man.
smash beer bottles on their heads.
Except nobody was wearing cowboy hats. You know, you're thinking South Dakota. You're thinking, back in the day,
swinging
the
bar doors,
bar doors, and then some real tough guy with spurs and assless chaps walks in,
orders a rounds of shots for everybody.
Sarsaparilla for the house, everybody.
Sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla. Set them up, barkeep.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
I'll have another great knee high.
That did not look like a.
I'm getting loose tonight.
That did not look like a quality establishment you'd want to walk into on a
No.
Saturday. This is 1 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, in Aberdeen, South Dakota, Harry.
I think
Who does
the
that?
Eagles put out this statement like he's out for a Sunday dinner, like on Father's Day with his
they
family.
were having lobster, and the one guy they ran out of lobsters at 1 a.m.,
Right.
and then they had to break out into a brawl. He had to go down. Did you hear that? Now there's a guy who has who's doing the narration of the surveillance
gonna
video.
play that.
No, you can't play that.
Right.
Cannot
That
play
guy
that.
was not. That guy was just rooting for everybody to die and bleed.
Yeah.
The guy watching the video was not really an impartial arbiter.
No.
Yeah.
He was just saying, "Come on, man! They got on the big guy then. Who's the guy with the red shirt on top of Gallup? Is he one of his friends?
I have
I
no
think
Is that
idea.
one of his family members?
Possibly.
Who was this? The Manson family there? What family goes there?
I have no idea, but that was one big punch. Evidently, they got the guy now.
Yeah,
Yeah, they get him. He's
And
from Sarasota, Florida.
Right. So he's from Florida up there working or something. But there's no story yet as to any kind of motive, if they knew one another or anything like that.
Well, I was getting
What
a lot.
started the
I was
fight?
getting a lot of tweets from people who lived there, knew that area, knew that bar. They were saying it wasn't a family restaurant.
Yeah.
It was a dive bar where a lot of people go, and there's always trouble in that joint. So Dallas Goedert's from there. It's not like he's out of his element. That's where he grew up. He went to high school there.
And college.
Yeah,
nearby.
South Dakota State.
Right.
You don't see Carson Wentz going into bars at 1 a.m. in North Dakota.
North Dakota's way different than South Dakota,
absolutely,
Tony.
Harry.
I'm telling you.
But you imagine now if Carson Wentz had gone into a bar with his family and gotten into a brawl and got knocked out with one punch, people would say, really? Wow.
Kyle Hadalis is 29 years old. He's charged with simple assault.
Not like simple syrup? Isn't that what you use when you make drinks?
Yes, you can make a simple syrup out of pretty much anything.
You make a simple sucker out of that. It's a good thing they didn't trade their other tight end, Zach Ertz, for Jamal Adams last week.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to talk to a man is the only media source that I trust right now. Kyle Mann.
There is a media source that you trust?
There's only one media source that I go to for all important information. And the man who runs that site will join us next. So stick around. We're just getting started. It's a Monday. It's the 22nd of June. It's Tony, Harry, and the whole gang on SiriusXM 211.
People are asking what Joe C's temperature was today. Joe, what was your temperature?
He was 97.3.
He was 97.
And so was Ryan. Ryan was 97.3. Joe C was 90. Harry was 99.1, but he had his hat on.
Right.
And I was, let me do mine again. I'm in the zone.
You're in the
not
zone?
Not auto zone.
I thought you were 98.0.
Where's the machine, Robin?
Right here.
The machine.
Weren't you 98.0?
I fluctuate. I'm 97.8, so I've chilled considerably, Harry.
You've chilled. Thank
God. Not shaken, not
Can
stirred.
you chill a little bit more?
Absolutely. Totally chill, bro.
Matrisi won. That made me mad. Oh, I was notified. Let me just double check here if they responded to me. John 2481. No. Anyway, has numbers.
Not John 316.
John 1984 said that 94.1 played clips of our Buster Olney and did not give us credit for it.
Are you kidding me right now? What station is that?
Wait, say what?
Yes. So I need to confirm.
Which station? WIP?
Yeah, WIP.
What are they doing?
That apparently they played it. He says they played a clip of Buster Olney's interview here on this show.
No, because I think that Buster was on with Bertitas, too.
Okay.
Wasn't he on that station? No, he was at 97.5.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's 97.5.
Bertitas filled in on 97.5 and had Buster Olney on, right?
Correct.
So
earlier
I'm
in the last week,
right.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody else who had Buster on other than him and us. And I'm asking John if he could hear. Is he sure that it was the exact same interview?
I don't know about that. Buster Olney's not exclusive, although WIP is not affiliated with ESPN like 97.5 is.
Right. So, John, question for you is, are you sure that it was our interview? Could you either hear Tony or Harry commenting? And if so,
I don't think that's not a big deal to me. I don't care.
It's
not like they stole a story, like somebody broke a story.
If they're playing a clip from the show, they need to give credit to this show.
Who was it? I'll find out, and I'll go down there, and I'll take vigilantes down to the studios.
John said it was DeCamera and Richie who played it.
I'm going to have to call Joe DeCamera. I'm going to have to call him.
It wouldn't have been them that pulled it. It would have been a producer that pulled it and just said, hey, I have this. Oh, John says that Buster said Tony several times. So they cut you out, and then he responded.
Joe DeCamera, I call you out.
Ha!
Say what now?
1 minute.
So Buster, the reason why he knew it was from this interview was that Buster said Tony several times in response.
And DeCamera played this.
Yeah.
I call you out, Joe D. They did not re-air it without express written consent of Tony Bruno and Major League Baseball.
John says that he heard the exact clip.
Swedish chef.
Was from our show, no doubt about it.
Huh. Sons of bitches. Let's go and pick it over there.
Huh.
Let's go tear it down. Do they have any statues in front of WIP?
I mean.
Do they have a statue to Angelo Cataldi up there yet?
We have.
deactivated his Twitter feed.
Did he really? He shut it down?
We have absolutely no problem with anybody playing.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
I sense a lot of relief today in New Jersey, Harry, because Governor Murphy has unshackled the state a little bit more, Harry. As of today, you still can't go into a gym. You can't go to an indoor legal gun firing range. But you can go to a tattoo parlor, beauty salon, barber shop, nail salon, tanning salon, massage parlor, hair braiding salon, day and medical spas, and non-contact outdoor sports.
What about waxing?
Well, waxing, that's part of it.
Wow.
Beauty salons, tat parlors.
That happens in Pennsylvania for the whole state this Friday.
Weather permitting, of course.
As far as like getting haircuts and things like, weather permitting. And then I understand that Parks Casino is even going to open up their doors on Monday morning.
Yes.
June the 29th at 9 a.m.
We may have to do a remote.
Thank the Lord.
Now,
we should do a daily remote there.
Yes, we should.
Actually.
At least it's safer up there. They have armed security walking around.
Exactly.
I got to provide my own security down here.
There's lots of cameras.
The only thing that I wish is that they had better venting system for cigarette smoke.
Robin.
That's it's just minor.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
So you can go get a neck tattoo today, but you can't go into a gym, Harry, and work out in New Jersey. Listen, and I think those places should all be open. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be open. Barbershops have been trying to open for months.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable.
I know I need a haircut.
Not me. I get myself trim. Well, Robin gave me some trim over the weekend, but it's Father's Day. Come on, man.
Yeah. That should be a given, right? I mean, really. No, it's not Father's Day either. It's Toxic Masculinity Awareness Day.
And you know who declared it that, don't you?
The Babylon Bee.
The official news site that I go to. I used to go to Snopes. I used to go to supposed legitimate news like NBC, ABC, CBS. And then sometimes I'd look at Fox, MSNBC, CNN. No more, Harry. When I want what's really happening in the world, and I've been doing this for a long, long time, and everybody's finally jumping on the bandwagon. When I retweet the Babylon Bee, people still don't realize what it's all about. And there's only one man who can tell us what it's all about. The man who's in charge, the editor-in-chief. Although chief sounds racist to me, and they're going to have to change that soon. Kyle Mann. Kyle, how can you be editor-in-chief? Don't you understand the word chief has negative connotations?
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity to apologize for my racism, and I hope everybody will forgive me, and I promise to do better.
No, I think we should come down to the Babylon Bee headquarters if we can find you and hunt you down and loot the place and get anything of value inside the facility. Is there anything of value inside the...
Absolutely. I'll give you guys the address, and you can send them off.
Now, Kyle, The Onion was a big deal a long time ago. We even watched The Onion movie a couple of months ago at late night, and that's a movie they couldn't air anymore because it was so vulgar. You want to talk about a movie that was loaded with stuff that could not possibly air now. You guys took it up a notch with the Babylon Bee, and for people who don't realize, the Babylon Bee is a parody site, but they are absolutely, positively the most dead-on parody site on the Internet. And it's amazing how many people still don't realize you're a parody site because everything is close to reality now.
Yeah, I really got to give a shout-out to reality for being so crazy. Reality and all, the politicians, the political parties, they're doing all the hard work, and we're just taking the credit for it.
Exactly right. My favorite part, Harry, of the Babylon Bee is that Snopes. You remember Snopes, which was supposed to be the #1 fact-checking site?
Right.
Anything that Snopes even checked on the Babylon Bee stories, and then the Babylon Bee destroyed Snopes and its credibility for once and for all. That's a great job out of you guys, man.
Thanks. Yeah, we definitely need fact-checkers checking our jokes to make sure that they're politically correct and that they're morally true. So we got to applaud Snopes for that.
Let me give him a roaring round of applause to Snopes. We acknowledge greatness on the show, Kyle, man. So how many writers do you have? Because the thing about, it's easy to come up. It's not even easy to come up with a headline that's awesome. You guys come up with an entire story to support the headline. That's what makes it even more incredible.
Yeah, we got about a dozen writers And we appreciate you not being a freeloader and actually clicking on the article. So good job. That's very good of you. So yeah, we got a lot of writers, and they do a great job on the copy. And the headline, obviously, is what really drives the joke home and gets it to spread around. But yeah, we try to make the articles. They reward people who click on them.
Now, how many of the people who see it by accident or somebody tweets it and thinks it's real come at you guys and say, "What are you doing?" Because I know there's a lot of great parody sites. There's one guy, Sean Spicier, who pretends that he's Sean Spicer, and he has nailed so many people who, even like, I'm talking about really famous people who don't realize that it's all parody. How many real famous people don't realize that you guys are parody?
Yeah, we see that a lot. It's getting less and less so as more people recognize the Babylon Bee. It happened a lot when we were kind of getting popular because, we were doing the stuff that was getting spread, but people didn't recognize the name. It didn't have the name recognition of something like The Onion, where you would see the Onion logo and then, immediately know that it was satire. But even The Onion, people still think it's real sometimes, even though they've been around a lot longer. So we still run into that a lot. And, we get a lot of people that think it's real, that share it. And it's never our intention, We kind of blame reality for being too close to satire.
Well, what has been your most clicked upon story?
Oh, goodness. Recently, there was one where we said Trump was hiding 5 golden tickets among the stimulus checks. That one got a lot of clicks.
I want one!
And you even ran one. There's a couple of Trump ones over the weekend because people think that you just pick on liberals. But you had Trump, there were a couple of them, and then people were like, and you even wrote about, wow, I thought we weren't supposed to talk about Trump on one of your satire responses.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people kind of, they see what they want to see. They'll read our site and say, hey, you only make fun of liberals, even though every other joke is about Trump some week. And Trump is just a great target for comedy, because he does kind of take himself seriously, but he also has a sense of humor, and we kind of see him as Michael Scott from The Office in the White House, and he just makes a great target for some good loving parody.
Kyle Mann, the editor-in-chief. So you guys, you don't have to have an office, right? You can work from home and do this stuff, right?
Yeah, we don't have real jobs. We're writers, so we can work without any pants, and that's pretty nice. We do have an office that a couple of us meet at in California, and we record a podcast here and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, all of us work without pants, so it's pretty great.
Well, we work without pants too, except Robin. She has to put them on because people can see on the camera on our Twitch stream that they're looking to see. They always do this, and then I double check, and we got to keep it clean here, even though we're on Twitch, and we're only shot from the waist up anyway. So does it really matter?
Yeah, exactly. You can get away with it with the waist up shot.
Now, when are we going to have a Babylon Bee movie? Because when I first saw it for the first time, people thought it was like a religious site. Was that the whole intention? Because you're not in Babylon.
Yeah.
Have you been to the rivers of Babylon, by the way?
I have not. No, yeah, we're all Christians, and we write satire about Christianity, which is funny because then you get Christians who are too serious who get mad at us and say, why do you only make fun of Christians? So we make fun of Christians so much because we're Christians, and that's what makes the best satire is making fun of yourself. But, right away when we launched the site 4 years ago, we started making fun of politics. And because current events and politicians are just so funny and so absurd on their face, it's just so much fun to be able to make fun of. And that's really where I think we got a lot of popularity and where the recognition of our site started to grow was when we started doing a lot more of the current events in politics. And so that is what a lot of people know us for. But, yeah, we definitely always are faithful to our roots and make fun of the church because the church needs to be made fun of a lot.
Absolutely. Well, the Pope, he's subject of a lot of ridicule, and most of it justified, I think, from people who are religious.
Kyle, this is Mr. Robin. I actually have a question. So do you guys get on the line and have a production meeting and bounce ideas off each other, or do you come up with all these each individually?
Yeah, writing a headline is very interesting from like a comedic perspective because so many of the headlines that we run are just an idea that somebody had. And then maybe I'll massage it and reword it a little and get it, or change the angle. But it is a little different than like writing on a TV show where there is a lot of banter and trying to bend a narrative the way you want, bouncing off each other. But we do a weekly call where we're all on a conference call, and we do that kind of thing to try to come up with stuff. It's just so much. I don't know. A lot of us are introverts, so so most of our ideas are sitting at our computer, just staring at the computer screen, and they pop into our heads, and then we all play around with them until it's something that we feel is ready to be published.
Well, I know in the majority of newspapers and tabloids, they always say that the writers don't write the headline. Do you guys not only write the piece, you write the headline and the click?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes that's really collaborative because someone will throw out a headline and then someone else will do the copy, and then someone else will do the Photoshop. And so sometimes it comes together like that, where, the guy who came up with the headline isn't necessarily the guy who's writing the copy. But it goes that direction. The headline is first, and then we come up with the copy.
I know the Babylon Bee likes me, even though you're not following me or the Rex, but their bot does. There's a Babylon Bee bot, isn't there, that follows people?
Yeah, I don't know who runs that, but you must be famous to somebody. Well, hold on. I'm going on the Babylon Bee Twitter account right now, and I'll give you a follow.
Yeah, you got to follow me. I mean, nobody gives you guys more love than I do. I mean, it's fake news we can trust. And isn't that what we want? Right. Fake news we can all trust and not have to worry about it?
Was the whole purpose of this call so you could get another Twitter follower?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only up to 64,000.
That's exactly what it's for.
I'm verified for your protection and safety. There's a lot of bots on there. I'm verified for years, man. And verified for safety and protection. That's like safe. It's better than safe sex.
There you go. It's the blue check. It's the verified opinion. Yeah, we are unverified, so I don't know if you can trust anything we post as being real.
Have you tried to become verified?
Yeah, we talked to a few Twitter reps, and they said they're not giving out the blue check anymore.
That's what they tell everybody.
But that's not true, because we see people getting it.
Yeah, that's what they tell everybody. Yeah.
You know how I got mine, Kyle? I marched on Twitter headquarters on Market Street, and I'm not making this up.
That's the truth.
Robin and I marched in San Francisco. We were there, and we marched to Market Street to the Twitter headquarters and demanded that we see Jack. And they wouldn't let us in. They had armed security at the front desk. Mm-hmm. And we stood outside about, 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
It's been a little bit more than that.
And we demanded to be heard.
And nobody listened. It was really funny, though, because there's more than just Twitter in that building, or there was at the time. And they wouldn't allow us upstairs. They said that there was nobody to see. And it was kind of a joke, but Tony was getting frustrated. And I said, no, we are waiting until we see somebody coming out. So because everybody's coming out of the building for lunch with their tags on, or their name tags. Mm-hmm. And so I was waiting until I could see a Twitter emblem on a shirt or something, and then I would go and accost them. I'm like,
and then
hey!
we would stalk them down when they were going outside to get lunch. And we found one person who knew who I was, and then worked the inner channels and put me through, because I was on TV at the time, and they said, you have to be on television. And I was doing ESPN stuff, so then they verified me. That's how it works. That's what demonstrations, that's what peaceful protest is all about, Kyle. You guys need to march on Twitter headquarters in San Francisco and look for guys who look like Jack, which is pretty much, well, you look a little like Jack. Like everybody who works in the building looks the same. So you know that you got a good shot. They may think you're Jack. And then you can go in and sneak into the offices and throw that verified switch right next to the Babylon Bee.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'll bring we have a supply of peaceful protesting bricks and Molotov cocktails here, so we'll bring those along to the peaceful protest.
Those are perfect.
Now, the latest one you has 4D chess. Trump announces he's gay, so he cannot be fired from the presidency. I mean, what I say all the time is, you guys rarely miss. It's hard, and you don't put one out every day. You're cranking them out like every hour. There's another one, and then another one, and they're nonstop. It's hard being. You watch network television, late night shows. They've got massive staffs of writers trying to write comedy, and you guys nail it almost every single time. You have had no strikeouts as I keep record here, because I'm a statistician. This is a sports show. I have not seen one weekly hit ground ball to the second baseman. I've not seen a strikeout.
Everything's a home run?
Everything's a home. Pretty much everything's at least a triple, but there's nothing below a triple in the Babylon Bee, Harry. And no, I'm not trying to pimp to get a job writing for you guys. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to get Twitter followers. You're trying to get employment. I mean...
No, I got 3 jobs now. I got 3 jobs here, Kyle. What do you mean trying to get employment? I'm on SiriusXM, Satellite channel
SB
211,
Nation.
SB Nation Radio on 115 stations, and on Twitch.tv, man. Come on. This isn't some little radio station in South Dakota where Eagle players get beat up on a Saturday night at 1 a.m. in a bar. Come on, man.
Well, speaking of Eagle players, what athlete, is there an athlete over the last couple of years that has given you the most material?
Well, since we're a Christian site, our Tim Tebow was our favorite target for a long time.
Yes.
He made up a lot of our sports content. Kaepernick's been really good for us, obviously. He's got strong stats as far as satire goes, and so those are probably the two main ones.
And the statues are a very popular thing now because it's like every hour there's another statue
Somebody's
coming down.
Taken down.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy out there, and that's how fast the news cycle shifts too. That's how fast we move on because we weren't talking about statues a couple of weeks ago, and now that's all anybody's talking about. And that's the main thing we've seen when writing parody is you got to be on it because you got to write it the same day, or the next day nobody's talking about it anymore. Yeah.
One of my favorite, Harry would like this one, I'm sure. Study, AC/DC's,
love that.
AC/DC's Highway to Hell is more theologically accurate than 96% of modern worship songs.
Yes.
That's just absolutely dead solid perfect.
So these are the sports headlines that you have right now. Drew Brees sets new NFL record for number of apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Rioters decline to sign Colin Kaepernick.
American sports fans would even watch soccer at this point. That's fabulous.
And this one is great, too. WWE holds massive Royal Rumble event on Zoom. This is the kind of comedy that America wants, and that's why people listen to the show every day. Because we come close, but we don't have a great staff of writers. It's just all off the top of our heads. And the Astros have fired trash can responsible for sign-stealing scandal. And it's about time, since there's no baseball to talk about, at least they got the trash can person, whoever did it.
Yeah, remember the Astros scandal? I don't even remember it anymore because it seems like it was so long ago with this pandemic.
Oh my gosh, there are just so many fun things.
It's incredible. If you're not following the Babylon Bee, you may as well not even be on. Are you on Parler too, or did they ban you from there?
We have not gotten on Parler yet. We're talking about it. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Beautiful, man. Well, I want to thank you, man. And you guys make me laugh every day. I retweet every one of your stories, seriously. Because
485,000 followers.
I remember when you guys had fewer followers than me. Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Kyle Mann, he's such a good man. He even had his dad on his podcast over the weekend as a cheap way to get a Father's Day gift for him by putting his dad on his own podcast.
That's smart.
Was that good enough for your dad to put him on your podcast?
Yeah, I still got him a Bass Pro Shop gift card just because. But, that's what I told him when we had dinner yesterday. I said, I got you the best gift of all the kids, right? I made you famous.
And then he got Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop. Well, they can use them in either store
it's
now.
The same thing,
company,
basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he go over there and get some guns, some ARs and AR-14s, the ones that Joe Biden prescribed that everyone should have?
AR-16s, the AR-16 is the more powerful model. It's got the MAGA hat on top.
And it shoots little flag bullets.
Yeah.
But they only shoot you in the leg, not in the stomach, because that's the way. That's the best way to quell somebody who's coming after you. Remember, go for the leg and sweep the leg too, Harry. First,
that's right.
If you can't sweep the leg, just shoot the leg. That's what I would probably say.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know if we can buy ammo in California, but
probably
not.
I'm sure
he'll go over there and try, but yeah, I think you need a background check now and waiting period for ammo. So
no, I went to Cabela's in Delaware a couple weeks ago, and I just pretty much bought every ammo. I walked out with a tractor trailer loaded of ammo. So I'm ready. If you need anything, just give me a call. I got a whole tractor trailer.
I will take you up on that.
I have one last question.
Yes.
Because I know that a lot of times the humor is based off of stereotypes. What are your favorite go-to stereotypes to try and make stories out of?
It's actually the most fun on the extremes, both on the right and the left, because those people, when you're on very far right or very far left, you're almost religious at that point, so you're not able to laugh at yourself, which makes you a great target for humor. So we love making fun of just very far left progressive commie types, Antifa, anything like that. People, super hardcore Trump fans, we make fun of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun, it's a lot of fun to make fun of those extremes because it already is such a parody.
Wait, I have breaking news. I have breaking news. The Babylon Bee, ladies and gentlemen, is now following me.
I know, I saw that.
Let me give myself.
They only follow 54 people.
Is that right?
54, and most of them are news services.
I'm a news service.
No, but I mean, you're an individual, though.
Well, I want to thank you, man. That made my week. I have no reason to continue with the show today.
I know.
We only have another 2.5 hours. I may just shut it down.
These first 12 weeks, this is the greatest accomplishment on the show.
No doubt about it. Forget about having Bob Costas and all the other big-name guests we've had on. The Babylon Bee.
I have a follow-up question on my last, though. It was part B. Because those extremes don't have a sense of humor, do you get a lot of hate because of that? I mean, are you getting hate mail? And yes. I mean, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. The best part of our podcast every week is we read the hate mail that we get sent. So if you like that kind of thing, that's a lot of fun on our podcast. Because, we get hate from, one post people say, hey, you make fun of Trump too much. And then the next post people say, you guys never make fun of Trump. You only make fun of liberals. And so it's to us, that means we're hitting the target.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. That is what it's all. It's like the old Howard Cosell thing.
Right.
You either hated him or you loved him. There was no middle ground.
But you didn't
both
turn him
sides. Howard Stern, same thing. Mm-hmm. You either loved him or you hated him, but everybody listened. And that's what you want to do, man, and you guys have nailed it. Kyle, I really appreciate you coming on, man. You guys do an incredible job out there. I'm sure there'll be a lot of unemployed sports writers, the ones who are all calling for sports to end and to stop sports and not play sports ever again. A lot of those guys will probably be calling you soon when there is no sports because of COVID-19. I think that's going to be the next wave. It'll be a wave of people trying to get a job at Babylon Bee because they have no newspaper to write for anymore. Kyle, thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Mann, the editor in, I'm not going to say chief.
If you just take the I out, then he's the editor and chef, and then it's okay.
How about EIC? We just call him the EIC.
All right, that works.
That'll work.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because chief is, Harry, every word has to be broken down now.
I know.
Every comment has to be analyzed and overanalyzed. That's what we do. How about that, Harry? And I didn't have him on to try to pimp a follow.
Well, you got it.
That's a good
only
one.
Follow 54 people, Tony.
That's impressive, Tony.
I got to give myself another one of these.
I know.
Even Joe C is like, say, damn, this Bruno guy, man. I thought he was just another pretty voice on the radio. This guy's got power, man. I got the power.
He's like, that guy has no shame. He's shameless.
Wait, somebody in radio with no shame?
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. There's got to be, I guess, one.
I had no shame until I watched the end of Game of Thrones when that woman was walking down the road.
That was not the end.
No,
that was in season.
Was it 6?
I don't know, 5, maybe, I don't know.
I forget. A great scene.
Get it right, Tony.
Phenomenal.
I don't know. I only ever saw the drop. I have that as a meme. That's the best meme. Shame. 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 215-462-TONY is the toll-free number. We got baseball developing situations perhaps today, Harry. This could be the day, Harry.
Really?
This could be that day.
Today's the day?
Today could be. It might be. Will it be? That's the question. Forevermore. Hark the Raven. We're coming right back. Open phones. You call, we talk. It's that simple. A lot of updates, too, so stick around.
That was awesome.
Is that funny that they followed me? Do they really only have 54 followers? Yes.
Yeah.
No, they follow.
54.
They're following 54 people.
Yeah.
That's elite company right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty damn impressive.
Harry, because of you, or Tony's mad at you because of me watching Bosch now.
Oh, Bosch.
I am totally hooked.
It's good.
I watched almost
I was down here all week. That's what I had to do. I let Robin watch Bosch.
Right.
It's fantastic.
And
I watched the entire first season
and they're only
already.
like 46 minutes long, so it's not like you only want to watch one episode.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm now hooked, and because there are, 6 seasons?
There's 6 seasons.
I have
watched
so
6 seasons of nothing.
We're in season 5.
And I have now watched all of season 1, and I'm into the 3rd or 4th episode of season 2. It's
good.
Awesome.
Yep.
I love that actor. I know that I've seen him in a couple of other
He
things.
was in Deadwood.
Oh, I never saw Deadwood.
Yeah, he was in Deadwood. That's where I knew him from.
But it's very good.
Okay, 420. I saw that. 420. Okay.
Why is that? Because of breaking news?
Potential breaking news. Beautiful. Breaking news.
Okay, Caleb, if you're listening, Nightingale's coming up at 420 rather than 520.
You know what happened 3 years ago today, Harry? The Boston Celtics drafted Jason Tatum with the 3rd overall pick.
Sixers picked Fultz instead.
Yeah. And who did the Sixers pick? At number 1, I believe, in that draft, Harry?
Fultz, yep.
Marquell. Yep.
Vorpal, yes, you did miss the Babylon Bee guy.
God damn
He
it.
was awesome.
He's a little understated, though. You
Yeah,
got to have a
bit.
little more fire.
Rav Buffalo.
I sound like the guy who should be running the battle.
I agree.
I have the kind of passion and energy required.
Thanks, Rav Buffalo.
Well, he did say he's an introvert, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what though? That's the kind of that kind of humor is it's like
Super dry.
yes, understated. They're the kind of people that put out zingers. And
No, they're
obviously
deep
he
thinkers.
does.
They're seriously. I mean, you look at every headline and read every story. They're pretty funny.
Bearcat AJ giving you love, Harry, for your Zabecast spot.
Yeah,
this
so
weekend.
did this other guy. I just said Rav Buffalo.
Oh, here, yeah, Brav Buffalo and Bearcat AJ both were listening. Thank you, Caleb.
So see this statue? Somebody wrote, "What the hell did Stevie Ray Vaughan do?" That's not a Stevie Ray Vaughan statue in Austin, is it? Who is that?
It might be one. No,
that's
it looks
not
like
Stevie
it.
Ray
It
Vaughan.
dresses like it.
No,
But
I don't
he's
think
from
they have-
Austin.
I know, but I don't think they have a statue to him.
They could.
They could, man. That's a big music town.
I know it is. No, he's holding a guitar. That is him.
Yeah.
Is it?
That is him.
Okay.
He's holding a guitar.
Yeah, okay.
And they vandalized the statue of Stevie Ray Vaughan
Sure.
in Austin, Texas.
Sure.
They don't give a flying hoot who the statue is. It could be of
Anybody wearing a cowboy
Doesn't
hat and a
matter.
long garb somehow is racist.
it could be of Martin Luther King, and they'd probably still vandalize it at this point. They don't care. It's not
Didn't
about
they take down a statue of Abraham Lincoln
Yes.
somewhere last week?
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But, I said this, Joe, when I was talking about, somebody, a private person owns a statue of Vladimir Lenin in Seattle,
Stalin.
Washington. Stalin. No, it's Lenin.
Oh, it's Lenin?
It's Vladimir Lenin, and he has a statue standing in Seattle that no one has touched.
But it's
Even though I know it's on private property, but you think these people care?
No.
Yeah.
They're going on public property. It's not like a guy has it behind a gate. It's wide open for everybody to see.
Yeah, J Blank 2481 says Vladimir Lenin statue hasn't been touched in Seattle. Not surprised.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Fixing all that's broken, not just in broadcasting, but pretty much all over the world. Keeping the peace, Harry. Keeping it real. Keeping it raw, but most importantly,
just keep it continue the same thing.
Thank you, Sandy.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Now, Harry, you have more golf news today. The Ryder Cup. Did you see that story, Harry?
That just broke?
It's not broke. It's not. No, it's going to happen next week. The reports are that the Ryder Cup, which was set at Whistling Straits later on this year, was right near the U.S. Open, which has been moved
Right
forward.
in September.
Right. It
Yeah.
was supposed to be in September at Whistling Straits. Now it's expected to be postponed until 2021, Harry.
Well, yeah, that's actually not a bad thing because you got to have fans at the Ryder Cup. That's what makes it so different.
Yeah, you got to have people yelling at each other's nationalities.
Right, it
and-
sounds like a soccer game,
Exactly.
like in England or something. It's
But you think that's the
fantastic.
reason why they're postponing it?
I think that's one of the big reasons. Because a lot of the McElroy was on record saying that if they can't have fans there, they shouldn't do it. When big players come out and say things like that, they take that to heart.
No,
So
I understand that.
I'm fine with that.
I don't have a problem with it. Now you're not going to be able to wear your Ryder Cup gear here, Harry.
Well, I won't get the gear for this year.
But I'm saying last year's gear. Aren't you wearing last year's gear? Don't you have Ryder Cup paraphernalia?
Old gear, yeah.
Beautiful, man.
You're obsessed with my gear.
I'm not obsessed with anything. I just know you like to buy complimentary gear.
It annoys you that I wear a Ryder Cup hat from a year that they lost. That's what annoys you.
No, it doesn't. I don't even know when they win or lose. I thought it was named after a trucking company. That's what I know about the Ryder Cup. Did they bring it back home on a Ryder rental?
No.
Which Ryder?
The yellow trucks, right?
CC Ryder? Who's the Ryder dude? Maybe he's a racist, Harry. But did you look into his background?
Well, it's Samuel Ryder, and he's an English businessman. He donated the trophy. That's all I know about Ryder.
And they put his name on it because he donated it?
He donated it, yeah.
How long ago, though? This isn't recent, Harry. This has been around for a long
time, yeah.
Have we looked into his past?
No, I have not.
I'd be worried, Harry.
Maybe some almost unemployed golf writer should go do that.
Seriously. Look into his past and see if maybe one of his great-great-great-great-grandparents,
Right, and then call for the
something.
shutdown of the rest of the season,
Exactly.
because one player came down with coronavirus.
See, that's the thing I don't get. I've been doing this for a long time because I love sports, and I chose to do sports over news because I was doing news and sports and then decided to just do sports after I did news for my early part of my career because I love sports. And I also saw that there was a void in sports radio back in those days, and they were getting rid of news departments in AM radio stations. So I saw that, and I still love sports, and I was still covering sports, but then I pivoted, Harry, to full-time sports coverage. And I made the smart decision because sports is getting bigger and bigger. Sports radio has gotten bigger and bigger. And so while there were only a few stations back in the 70s and 80s, Harry, sports radio is huge now.
Yeah, it really started to, I guess, grow in the very late 80s, early 90s.
Exactly.
Right?
And then syndication. And then so now sports radio is a staple. It's not going anywhere, even though there's no sports. That's what surprises me about the number of people in our industry, writers, bloggers, broadcasters.
Big name guys, too.
Yeah. Who are just saying, just shut sports down. Just shut it down because 5 guys at a spring training facility tested positive for COVID-19. I'm not saying be irresponsible, don't do anything, but geez. Going from one extreme, there has to be extremes. Why does there have to be an extreme on either side? I get it for the Babylon Bees purposes so they could piss off people on both sides of the extremist scale. But how about the people down the middle, which is where most
That's
people
where most sane people are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People who look at both sides and decide whether they think one side's way too nuts or the other side's way too nuts. That was Samuel Ryder. He looks like a young dude.
I know.
It was 1927.
Okay, this is
That's not him. That's a new Sam Ryder. Is that a Bobo Sam Ryder?
No, that guy's a player.
It's
he
a
plays
player.
on
Okay.
tour. Yeah,
Maybe
no,
he's
it's
like
not
a-
him.
He's not related
I
to
don't
the
think
Ryder.
he's even related
No.
to
All right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Here we go.
CC Ryder's probably more related to the guy who started the Ryder, Samuel Ryder. Come on, Robin.
The Samuel Ryder from the Ryder Cup Ryder.
1858.
He died in 1936.
Right.
English businessman, entrepreneur, golf enthusiast, and golf promoter.
Right. And the first official event did not take place until 1927, for which Ryder donated a gold trophy.
And
I hope they do some background checks on this guy, Harry. How do you know? Did you check his social media from back in the early 1900s?
I did not. I didn't check his Facebook.
I want to know what he was tweeting. I want to know what his political affiliation
says
is.
that the little figure on the top of the cup is Samuel Ryder's caddy. It's not him.
Wow.
Okay.
It's the caddy.
That's
Does
interesting.
his caddy get any recognition? Is his name engraved in the truck?
I don't think so.
What was the name of his caddy, Harry? I need to know.
No idea.
It's ridiculous, man.
How did we go down this rabbit hole?
Well,
How
I
did we
wanted to
get
mention
there?
the Ryder. It's not a rabbit hole. It's a Ryder hole. Did the Ryder Truck Company name themselves after Samuel Ryder?
That's possible.
Or CC Ryder? Or
I was given incorrect information. Clarky Bob, this is a bad job out of you. The Ryder Cup on display. The figure on top is modeled after professional golfer Abe Mitchell, who was Ryder's private coach.
Not caddy.
Oh.
Big difference.
Yes.
Why the hell would you put your coach up there?
Clarky Bob. See, that's what happens when you take your news from Twitch, Rob.
Exactly. Bad job out of you, Clarky Bob. You deserve a big bump.
No, it's not John McMullen on top of the trophy. That is not
He
John
will join us tomorrow.
Yes, he will. There's countdown clocks for John McMullen's next appearance.
There
you
is?
know. Yes. People have countdown clocks for everything, Harry.
And for the release of his next podcast with Rothstein.
I believe
When's that?
I believe that's
Wednesday?
going to drop. I believe that was recorded this morning before Ryan left and made his way through New Jersey, stopped off at a couple of tattoo parlors, went and got himself a tan, and got a quick trim, because they're all open now, Harry.
That's great.
New Jersey is opening up perfect together. Not Abe Froman. That was the Sausage King of Chicago, Harry. He is not on top of the Ryder Cup. Nobody, even when they do the Ryder Cup broadcast and have like hundreds of hours of coverage, does this kind of information get released? How many people knew that was his coach?
I bet Rich Lerner didn't even know that.
I bet she didn't. Now, we got other stories going on. Now, people are accusing us of tiptoeing around the Bubba Wallace story. We're not tiptoeing around anything. The story now is being investigated that apparently a noose was found in Bubba Wallace's garage at Talladega yesterday. And the story that I have, and again, I'm not going to make any judgments on it because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's seen it. Like, there's no picture, apparently.
All I know is this. There is limited access, extremely limited access to the garage area at Talladega. No fans were allowed.
The media can't get down
Exactly.
there.
So, obviously, there weren't many people who could have gone in there and done that if in case it was a noose.
And it was in the Richard Petty, like, his garage where Bubba's car is.
Exactly, the number 43 car.
And the good thing is that supposedly there's cameras everywhere because they try to make sure that there's no tampering of the cars.
Exactly.
So
you would think that there's security cameras
There has to be
everywhere.
some security cameras.
So hopefully they find out if this is true and they get the perpetrator.
Apparently Bubba Wallace didn't even see it.
No, he didn't see it either. And I saw the really touching thing that you see all the drivers all in unison came out and pushed his car out of pit road
Yeah, I did see
and
that.
onto the field. So if I hope it's not a noose. All right, obviously that's horrible. Nobody's going to defend that. But hopefully, if somebody did it, they find out who did it and punish them.
Right.
That's how it
say
works.
They'll be banned from the sport for life
Absolutely.
and possibly more things. Who knows? And hopefully so. But I guess they had the restart today at, 3 o'clock. The race went off.
Yes.
The whole day was shot yesterday.
I know.
Yesterday afternoon was a disaster. The golf tournament was postponed for a couple hours. The race.
Not for me. It was Father's Day. I was eating lobster and filet mignon. It wasn't a disaster for me, Harry.
I know. I saw that. I saw the 2 lobsters in the pot.
I didn't put them in yet. They were just in the sink.
Oh,
I was
at the
about
sink.
to take
Okay.
the rubber
Okay.
bands off. We haven't had lobster, and I don't know how.
And this was my first time cooking live lobster. I've had lobster. I've cooked lobster before, but I've never cooked a live lobster.
Well, you didn't cook this one either, Robin. Who put those suckers?
Okay,
Who heard
you
them screaming when I put them in the boiling
You
water?
dropped them in the boiling water. Yes, you did.
And then I had them perfectly cooked for 7 minutes and took those
That's
babies
got to
out.
be an awful way to go.
I wouldn't know,
was
Harry.
thinking about that
I don't
too.
even like getting into a hot tub. I can't imagine being put in this boiling water.
I'm
not a murderer. And then people are saying, "Did you name them?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to name them. I don't want to get too close to
You
the
don't want to
lobsters."
get attached to the lobster?
No, you don't want to get attached because
No.
I don't eat pets. Lobsters aren't pets.
My
They're
daughter,
food.
My daughter, I mentioned to my daughter that we were doing something, and she's like, "Isn't there a more humane way to kill them first?" And I was saying, "I know. Can you hit them over the head and knock them out before putting them in the water?"
No,
Because
actually, no. I looked
Yeah.
all that up. The only humane way, the quickest way, is that they have to be in boiling water. They don't suffer.
Can't you use one of those things that they have in No Country for Old Men that they use on the steers?
No,
You know,
no. You don't do that to it. Then you crack its shell and it gets messy, and you don't want to do that, Harry.
Because all their nasty gut part is in the head.
Yeah.
And you don't want to spread that around. You want to.
My brains are scrambled enough. I don't need to scramble a poor lobster's brains. You know what I'm saying?
And they're like giant crawfish, which you eat the heads.
Yeah,
Think about
you didn't
that.
suck the head on this one, Harry. You suck the head on crawfish, as we learned from Tim
Yeah.
Brando. You do not suck the head on lobsters.
No, you don't.
You know what I'm saying? We're coming back. More gourmet stuff and talk. And yes, we'll hear from Bob Nightingale. What's happening with baseball? We could have an answer today, kids. Stick around.
The lobsters' names are Tasty. Tasty and Delicious. That's what their names were.
This Missinelli's dryer guy, I want to crush his skull.
Why don't you just block him, Tony? For goodness sakes. Why deal with any of that shit? I keep telling Tony that he needs to just stay off of Twitter and all of the negativity on there, other than just show stuff. People are crazy on there right now. They're, you know what Babylon B. Kyle was saying about the extremes? That's who's on Twitter. They're the extreme.
You don't think I know that, Robin? You don't think I get it?
So
nobody toys and nobody triggers more people on Twitter than I do. Nobody takes down more suckers than I do. I'm like the great hunter. I put out the bait, and people walk into it.
Be careful.
I'm very careful. I know how this game works, Harry. Wait a minute. We have breaking news from New Jersey.
What's that? What you got?
New Jersey has been ranked America's least patriotic state, Harry.
No.
That's according to this.
How's that possible?
SaveNewJersey.com, Harry. Looks legitimate. Let me see what this site is. I'm not going to run with it until I know it's legit. Wallet Hub. So that's the sort. That's the site that does. What town they do. Cost of living.
Yeah.
Which city is the most friendly?
They're always ranking stuff.
Yeah, and that's a legitimate. Wallet Hub is legit.
Sean Keating, Tony Bruno is God, or is a god.
Well, if I were a god, they'd really be bashing me on the
Clarky Bob is agreeing with me, says, block him, Tony. It's quite satisfying. It is. It is very satisfying.
I just unfollow people first, and then if they come at me again, then I block them. I don't care if they come at me and disagree with me.
I know.
But when you're going to try to tell me that I'm avoiding things, when I don't avoid anything. Wallet Hub analyzed 13 categories ranging from military veteran residents to voting in 2016. The Garden State finished 50th overall for patriotism. New Jersey ranked the worst U.S. state for health care access. How about that?
Wow.
Looks like I picked a good lifetime never to live in Jersey.
By the way, Dockside Donkey Show, we're not worried about them playing a clip. It's common courtesy that if somebody plays a clip, they need to give credit.
I don't care if they do, Robin.
I'm just telling him.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Ah, yes, it is the show of record. Because most of us have records here. But they've been expunged after paying off politicians, Harry. That's how we do it here. You know what I'm saying? It is a Monday. It's June 22nd already, Harry. This month is flying by. The summer is only a couple days old, and it seems like it's been going on for 6 months.
Yeah, yesterday was the longest day of the year.
I know it was.
Now today's 1 minute shorter.
I know. That's going to give the statue people less time to tear down another statue today. Who's next, Harry? We got to make a list.
Well, did Teddy Roosevelt get taken down yet?
Apparently, yes, in front of the Museum of Natural History in New York City.
Wow.
Well, what about the Rodin Museum? There's the Thinker.
They're still thinking about that one. I don't know if Rodin was...
Thinking is bad. Thinking is really bad, so they have to take that one down.
I said it a million times. How can the Rocky statue still be standing in Philly when every other statue's come down? There is no more fictional, ridiculous thing. And nobody makes money. The art museum where it stands next to it doesn't make any money. People don't pay to go see it.
Right, it's
the
free.
only people who make money are the people who sit there and pay and charge you to take a selfie or a picture of you and your friend from another country who come to town.
Charges people?
There are people out there who look for tips. They'll say, hey, do you want me to take a picture of you and your girlfriend in front of the Rocky statue?
Oh, yeah.
And they get tips for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing you a favor.
Yeah, there's one guy in particular who stands down there all day long doing
really?
as a yeah.
Well, I would intentionally avoid him.
Yeah,
Wow.
When we've been down there because there, whenever there's people
I'm not handing anybody my phone anyway.
Yeah. Whenever people come into town, they always want to go
Now,
there.
Clarky Bob wants you to give me a smack because I'm Mr. Cranky Pants.
You are Mr. Cranky Pants.
I'm not cranky at all.
I need more of those
I got followed by the
Bab.
How can I be cranky when I'm one of 54 people in the world?
Very good question. How can you be
I'm not cranky.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
Yeah. Where am I cranky? All I'm doing, I want people to do their jobs. That's all I want. I mentioned sports writers are now basically saying we don't need sports. I can write commentaries about what? I'm telling people what they should and shouldn't do with their businesses? I don't tell anybody what to do with their businesses. We just report on the stuff and give opinions on it. They're allowed to give an opinion saying sports should be shut down. That's fine. But what happens if it is shut down? How many columns can you write on, hey, we should just shut down sports and say screw it for another year? What do you tell the people who rely on sports? Not just the athletes and the owners, the people who rely on parking concessions and all the other food, all the other important parts of of sports, the broadcasters, the people who are the logistics people who do this stuff. This isn't just affecting rich athletes and rich owners. Jesus.
I agree. I need a Nerf gun.
A Nerf gun for what?
So I can shoot things at you.
Are you that violent, Robin?
Yes.
Harry's the cranky guy.
No, he's cranky but calm. Like he doesn't get all worked up.
Because he's not Italian. See, I'm not loud and I'm not cranky. I'm just Italian. This is the way I talk all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Robin. I'm going to apologize to you.
Thank you.
And for you.
I'm glad somebody is.
I like to say I'll hear conversations out on the street here, and I'll think people are fighting until I get outside and they're just talking.
It's true. It has absolutely
Every night I'm sitting in my living room watching TV, and I think there's an argument.
And listening to fireworks and gunshots and Italians yelling at one another.
Exactly, and they're not even all Italians.
No,
this is a very diverse neighborhood, Harry. Everybody yells at one another.
Neighborhood. It is definitely a South Philly or maybe even just a Philadelphia city type of a way of talking that makes you sound angrier than you are, and then you add the Italian and Tony on top of that. And it's just a bad combo.
People know when I'm angry, and I'm rarely angry, Robin. I tweeted yesterday on Father's Day that I was fortunate to be alive. And I'm one of those people at 68, and I see people now in 68, 70 dying now. I don't sit around and think about dying. I think about life and enjoying it every day.
Good.
And that's what life's about. Too many people are worried about things that don't matter, things that don't want to affect their lives.
Can I just...
Am I wrong, Robin? How does that make me cranky?
Speaking of this weekend, and I wrote something on my social media, and I think it's worthwhile saying to everybody out there, because it sort of hit home this weekend. As many of you know, my father passed away in December, so this was my first Father's Day without my dad, and it hit me really, really hard. And one of the things that made it even worse for me this year is I see so many people on all sides saying that if your family members don't believe the way you are supposed to believe, that you should leave them behind, that you should turn your back on your own family. And let me tell you, my father and I did not agree on everything politically, but I would give anything to have one more moment with him.
Exactly.
And so don't ever listen to those people who are telling you to turn your back on family. I mean, it's different if it's abusive or something like that.
Exactly.
But just because they have a different belief system than you, just stop it.
It's not even a belief system anymore, Robin. It's about you got to be on one side or the other extreme. Nobody can have legitimate down-the-middle conversations and look at things logically anymore. You've got to be extreme one way or the other. And that's not the way I live my life. I'm not extreme anything. Now, it depends on the situation.
You're extreme some things.
No, I'm not.
But it's not bad things.
No, there's good extreme.
Yeah. I mean,
but not politics. I don't care about politics.
Everybody here that's down here, we don't agree on everything either. But how can you turn your back on either family or close friends just because they don't have the exact same beliefs as you?
And a lot of these people don't even know what their beliefs are. They're just doing what they're told or what they think their friends want them to be cool and think that way.
And
I don't care. I don't have friends. Don't tell me how to think. I don't tell my friends how to think.
And
guess which friends walked away? The ones who don't like the way I think because I don't think like them.
I know.
So I know. I go to
week.
sleep at night knowing that the way I think is not extreme, and I'm not an extremist left or right. And if that's too tough for my friends to accept, screw them. I don't need them. I don't need people who want me to think the way they do.
And trust me, if you only talk to people who think the same way you do, there will never, ever be any good changes in this world. And
they'll be the worst parties you ever attend. Anyway, let's get it down. We have breaking news, Harry. I know we've all been waiting on this. No, not baseball. Dak Prescott has signed his franchise tender.
$31.4 million. That one?
That one. 31.4. Wow. That is the amount as a tendered quarterback. And now the two sides have until July 15th, Harry, to work out a longer-term deal. But now that he signed the tender, he has to report to training camp. He can't hold out, or he will forfeit the $31.4 million. Now, if they don't get a deal done, and he plays this season under the tender, guess what he would do next year if they don't make a deal, which is why the Dallas Cowboys are in a position now. They would have to pay him $37.7 million next year.
Under the franchise tag.
Under the franchise tag if they do it again.
Right.
So for the Cowboys, who've gotten away with only paying this guy $4 million each year for the last 4 years.
This is going to affect the rest of that roster now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so whether you like the Cowboys or not has nothing to do with this. This guy has outperformed his rookie contract. These guys made $4 million a year for the last 4 years.
Right, because he was drafted in the middle of the draft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now the Cowboys are going to have to decide. And I'm sure they don't want to pay him $31.4 million, and they don't have to. They'll work out a deal between now and July 15th.
Maybe.
Yes, and if they don't, then he's going to play for 1 year for $31.4, which is among the top quarterbacks. There's only one guy, I think, who makes more than that, right? I think Russell Wilson, doesn't he have the richest contract now? I can't keep track of this stuff.
Yeah, it changes every couple.
And I don't really care who
weeks.
makes more money than anybody else. But Ben Roethlisberger and Russell Wilson.
Timing.
Yeah, Russell Wilson makes 35.
Is it 35?
He's the top guy. And then Ben Roethlisberger, believe it or not, is number 2 on the list of guys who make the most per year. And so, the next guy who gets the next contract will be the highest paid guy. Aaron Rodgers is third, 33.3.
Then
Jared Goff.
Wow.
And Kirk Cousins.
And
then there's Carson Wentz is 6th at $32 million. And Dak, 31.4. That's the franchise tag. And then Matt Ryan, number 8, $30 million.
Man.
So there's 8 guys in the $30 million club right now as far as starting NFL quarterbacks are concerned. And you look at Dak's number. He was 8-8 last year, remember, Harry. His team went 8-8.
Right.
But the guy is in the top 5 in most of the statistical categories in the NFL. So he's a top 5 statistically, but, the Cowboys have to make a decision here. You're Jerry Jones, Harry. Other than looking for glory hole, what are you looking for?
How about them Cowboys?
What would you do with Dak Prescott? I'm going to make you the GM right now.
I'm the GM.
And you're the owner and the GM,
Well,
and pretty much you do everything and run the franchise, and you have your son on the side who's, saying let people in the box and keeping people out of the box.
I mean, what's the alternative? Andy Dalton? Isn't he the backup?
Yeah, but they're not going to get rid of.
No, that's
Dak
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well, so what do you got a quarterback that you drafted? You were lucky enough to draft in the middle of the draft where you saved money on him for a couple of years here while he was, growing his career.
Yep.
What else are they going to do? They might as well just sign him.
I agree, but they've been trying to get the deal done. Remember, supposedly they've offered him big time contracts and he's turned them down. So this isn't going to be like the baseball contract nonsense, which has been ridiculous. This is going to be two sides come together, and they got to sign him to a long-term deal. It's that simple. $31.4 million. Bill Kennedy wants to know, how much fuel is that on Jerry Jones's yacht? How many fill-ups? That's probably what he pays a year just for the crew, for the captain.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have full-time crew on those. Those captains, they're on standby all the time. They never know when Jerry's going to say, let's go give me some glory hole.
Oh, what's in the box?
Let's put people in there, go out, except Troy Aikman.
Let's restart.
He got everybody on that yacht except Troy Aikman.
And you.
And me. Well, I haven't asked Jerry.
Have you ever seen to interrupt here, sorry. But listen, have you ever seen the Jerry Jones box at the new stadium?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where he sits, it looks like the U.S. Air Command Center.
It is.
And he has a phone directly to the sideline. He's the only owner. That's the only owner's box in the NFL that has a line that he can call in the middle of the game and be like, hey.
He runs the whole thing. It's his stadium. It's his team.
It's great.
It's his organization.
Say what you want about him. He's good for the game.
Yes, he really is.
He's good for the game.
There aren't many owners like that anymore. We talk about that in baseball. There aren't many managers or owners who are high profile. In the NBA,
think baseball needs an owner or two like him.
Yeah, Mark Cuban in basketball is probably the most upfront guy that everybody knows because he sits at the sideline. But most people don't want to see the owners. Most of these people are billionaires, right? And a lot of billionaires don't want the limelight. They just want to sit behind, like Josh Harris, the Sixers owner.
Yeah.
You know, he just wants to buy.
He sits in the front row, though.
Yeah, but he plays Monopoly. He's not like an out front personality. The guy's got no personality.
Zero.
He's not a flamboyant guy.
But he
There's
does
nothing
go
wrong
to the
with-
games, and he does sit in the front row.
Yeah, and he's just trying. He's just playing Monopoly. You know, he's a venture capitalist. Nothing's wrong with that. And he just goes out and he just looks for more, distressed properties.
But
the
most of
Sixers
these
were
owners-
distressed property. The New Jersey Devils. Now he's looking at the Mets. Right? He's not buying. He's not buying Amazon like right now. He buys distressed, troubled properties and then sits on
flips them.
Yeah.
But most of the owners you don't even know.
No, you're right.
I
You
mean,
don't know
you
these
look at their
people.
names, you're like, I don't know who that
They're
guy
crusty
is.
old white guys, most of them. Sit around drinking Manhattans and what else do they drink, old crusty old white guys?
I don't know. I'm not one.
Manhattans and
I'm crusty, but I'm not.
highballs.
And I'm white. I'm not old yet.
Highballs. I don't know what old guys drink.
What, a rusty nail?
No, I don't think they're rusty.
Lime
now.
Ricky? Like, what are we drinking?
What? Lime Ricky?
Wow. Man.
I just think of what Mr. Burns from The Simpsons drinks.
That's
all
right.
I go with.
Old fashions. That's a good one, too.
Yeah, old fashions.
Well, they're old fashioned.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, man. Get AOC on the line. I want to know what old guys drink when they go into a bar in Brooklyn or the Bronx, Harry. She would know.
Shot in a beer.
Nah, that's that bar where Dallas Goddard was. That's a shot in the beer. That's a shot in a chaser. You get shot and then you chase the guy out into the parking lot. That's what that means out in South Dakota, Harry. I didn't realize it was that violent up there in South Dakota.
I didn't either.
Not since the Gold Rush days did I realize they were throwing down in bars like that on a Saturday night, Harry. Remind me to stay away from there. We will go to Bob Nightingale, right? He's going to join us next. We may have some breaking news. And when it breaks, we fix it right here, so stick around. Rock and ride.
I have some Jerry Jones yacht.
We had all those.
information.
We had all that stuff. We had that breakdown before, Robin.
No, did you know where it was built?
Probably overseas, right?
Yes, but where overseas?
In Italy or France?
No, it was built in the Netherlands.
Oh, those Dutch, they make good stuff.
Yes, it is the largest yacht that was ever built by
The Dutch Masters? Who did it?
It is one of the largest yachts built in the Netherlands. She ranks behind Feed Ships Anna.
Feed Ships Anna.
And the Oceanco Jubilee. She's able to accommodate 14 guests. You would think that it would be more than that.
That's to stay over and stuff. It's not. Remember, it's not all about.
I know, and it has a crew of 30 people.
Yep. 30 people.
She can go up to 14 knots. Her top speed is probably 18, but her average cruise speed is 14.
The most important thing is the range, Robin. 4,500 nautical miles.
Yes. And
Means that can go across the Atlantic Ocean to the south of France on one tank of gas.
We have any strapper calls?
Any strapper calls?
Oh, we have tons
You got
of
any good
them.
ones?
Did you
Why
listen
didn't you
to
tell me about the strappers?
Did you listen to all of them? A lot of them are very, very long.
It's not the length. I said 4,500 nautical miles.
Joey Bonocco. Tony knows everything. Yes. But he didn't know everything. Robin talking about the Netherlands? No way. I know.
Oh, look, a noose on a telephone line in Maine is now sparked, and somebody's just trying to lasso a lobster up there. All of this stuff, it's coincidentally happening right now, right?
I know. I'm not buying that. Why is Lancaster County?
I wouldn't be surprised if there are all these antagonists that are doing it on purpose just to.
Of course. Most of them turn out to be hoaxes.
I know. If it is real, then.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it.
No excuse, but there's also no excuse if it's faked, just to stoke this whole pitting.
You see that Tua gets flirty with Shania Twain on Twitter, Harry?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Joey Bonocco, can you tell me how to get out of my timeshare in Camden, New Jersey?
Just burn it down.
Yeah.
Collect the insurance money.
Seriously. Just leave the door open. That's all you need to do. Old white ladies drink fuzzy navels. Fuzzy navel is apricot liqueur and what is it? What is a fuzzy navel? Something
Schnapps.
peach.
Yeah,
it's
schnapps
peach,
and-
apricot schnapps, right? Or peach
No,
schnapps?
peach.
Peach schnapps and something else.
Peach schnapps was like really, really popular
peach
back in
schnapps
like
and
the 80s and
champagne?
90s, remember? Everything was made with peach schnapps.
Fuzzy navel. It is peach schnapps, orange juice, ice.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is the official show of record. And baseball, we have football news with Dak Prescott signing his tender. Baseball hasn't signed anything yet. And now there are people concerned about guys in spring training. There's no bubble. Hockey is going to announce its bubble cities apparently later on this week.
Later this week, I believe, yeah.
But baseball's still trying to wait. We're waiting, and all the indications have been that they were close today and something is imminent. Let's find out how imminent it is. Bob Nightingale from USA Today has been with us before, and he joins us right now. Bob, is something going to break today? And if it is, how can we fix it?
Yeah, I mean, I think either they reach an agreement today, which still seems unlikely, or Rob Manfred simply just mandates a season, and probably between 54 and 60 games. The players are going to vote at 5 o'clock Eastern Coast time to see if they want to accept baseball's deal. Right now it still appears more unlikely. So if that's the case, I don't think Rob Manfred will waste any more time and just say, here's 54 to 60 games. Let's show up here in about July 1st, July 2nd, and we'll start the season for the last few days of July, if not August 1st.
If it ends up being a 60-game season, Bob, mandated versus agreed upon, what would be the difference between the two?
Well, the playoffs, so just go back to 10-team format.
So not expanded. Okay.
Yeah, not expanded at all. No DH for next year in the National League. That'd have to be changed. So I'm saying expanded postseason the following year as well. That would be about the big things. There'd be lingering hostility between the two sides, which would go on all summer long.
Now, the last time we spoke, Bob, you were talking about 50, 60. We know the owners don't want to play over 60 games, and the numbers have been going back and forth, back and forth. Why didn't Manfred just mandate it 2 weeks ago if we all knew that this was the final play?
Well, I think he really wanted to, get a negotiation settlement. I mean, he really thought that, hey, this can happen. I mean, that's why he flew to Phoenix to talk in person with Tony Clark. And last, Tuesday, he had told the owners, hey, we've got a deal. So the union agreed to it. The union quickly said, no, we didn't agree to anything. We agreed to talk about it and present it to our union board. So, big misunderstanding over that, and it just hurt things. So now I think they're both in agreement. That's going to be right around 60 games, because just with the virus shutting all the spring training sites down, now every single team except for maybe the Blue Jays have to train at their own home city. So it pushes things back as well.
Well, when would let's just say it ends up being a mandated 60-game season. When do you think that the start date would be?
For the season, I think it would be right around July 26th, July 27th.
Okay.
There, no later than August 1st. So yeah, but even if you start around, July 26, 27, you're only talking about 63, 64 days in the calendar. Mm-hmm. So very few days off, and to allow for days off and rainouts.
And that would be a Sunday night game probably. The Sunday is the 26th of July. The 27th is Monday. And now let me ask you about the next problem if they get this thing done today and make the date the 26th. What about all these spring training concerns with COVID-19 down in Florida?
Well, that's the thing now. I mean, no one's going to be at a spring training complex. Every team has decided that they're going to do their own spring training at their own home city. Outside the Toronto Blue Jays, who get the travel restrictions. So, no one's going to be training in Arizona or Florida for those reasons. And who knows what happens when everybody gets together and that sort of thing. Maybe all this has been a waste of time. we'll see. And right now, the coronavirus is pitching a no-hitter the way it's going.
Is it all but a foregone conclusion that there's going to be a work stoppage again after next year?
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, it would be almost like a miracle for them not to decide, during this environment we have now, for them not to agree on a contract, and then all of a sudden, agree on, I think, next year, which has so many more important issues. Mm-hmm. So it truly seems like a work stoppage. I don't think, during the season or right before the postseason, I still think if it happens, it'll be after December 1st when that contract expires.
Talking with Bob Nightingale of USA Today. So I'll ask you, it's happening soon today. I mean, as far as a vote is concerned, what's your feeling? They'll turn it down and then he imposes it tonight? Manfred being he?
Yeah, that's my feeling, that he implements the season. I mean, I don't rule out, last-minute haggling here because, both sides really want an agreement. An agreement obviously stops a grievance as well. But, as of 15 minutes ago, it still seems pessimistic that the players are going to approve it. But we'll see. Maybe something changes here. I mean, we finally have a deadline because I think, they have to reach an agreement pretty much by 5 o'clock East Coast time tonight. Or Manfred just says, that's it, I'm done, here's your season.
Bob Nightingale, so there you have it. It looks like we've reached another D-Day.
Yeah, right. There's been a million of them. But this is enough. They know the calendar's running out, and they got to get started here. And, give the players about 1 week to show up for camp, and a couple days of testing, then go from there.
Last thing you guess again, will there be any players who say, no, you know what, I'm worried about the COVID-19 I'm seeing down in Florida. Arizona's had a lot of cases. I'm just not going to play. Do you expect that to happen soon as the commissioner, if there's no agreement, says this is the date, show up for camp now? Do you expect to see a large number of players? Because we got NBA players who say they want to go down in their bubble city. How many baseball players do you think will opt out because they have that opportunity?
I think just a few. I mean, it's all, the guys who have health risks, they're allowed to opt out and get paid. Guys like, Derek Cole and also Mike Trout, the wives are pregnant, they can opt out and still get paid. Everybody else, if you opt out and you're not high risk, you don't get paid. You also have to look at your own teammates in the eyes, saying, "Hey, I'm just, I'm mad about taking this kind of deal where we have to accept. So I'm not playing." I don't know if they can do that to their own teammates. I think it'll alienate a fan base and kind of ruin all kinds of marketing endorsement opportunities too. So I don't see too many guys, maybe just a handful, that will just not play out of spite. But maybe there's a few that really are concerned about the health, and people understand it. Got young families or something like that.
Bob Nightingale. So there you have it. I don't think there's any doubt that there will be players opting out. You mentioned players with pregnant wives. Did you see Bryce Harper announced today?
Is that right?
That he and his wife are expecting another child. I don't know when the due date is. Would that be something? I mean, imagine if Bryce Harper says, I don't want to go. I got Fortnite to play with Ninja, who's now not on Mixler anymore. I mean, that's a big story today,
Well, it could be. I mean, they just had a child, so it can't be very early in the process. But that was part of the agreement that the players asked for, I should say, in the last proposal. So if there's just a simple mandate, that proposal isn't accepted. So maybe he won't have that right. Just the guys with high risk will.
So then the idea would be to finish the season by September the 26th or so, and then have October for playoffs, even if it's just standard playoffs, right?
Yeah, correct. And then try to get the postseason done as fast as possible before a second wave hits. And baseball, says their health officials have told them the second wave is definitely coming. Get ready for it.
Bob Nightingale, there it is. Bob, appreciate the time. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
There he is, Bob Nightingale. So that's the latest. And by the way, that's the bigger story, and that's breaking news, Robin, as you know. Is this dude named Ninja?
Yes.
You saw that story, right?
No.
So Ninja was the guy who was on Twitch, which before it was Twitch, and he was playing Fortnite and making millions of dollars playing video games. Mm-hmm. And hey, listen, I'm not going to knock anybody who can make that kind of money. But then he went to Mixler, which is
Mixer.
Mixer. Is it Mixer or Mixler?
Mixer.
Mixer. And he signed a contract because they took him away from Twitch, where we're on. And today, he decided he is out of there. And he wants to return to Twitch.
Yeah, it's his,
So Microsoft killed Mixer? It's shuttering Mixer, so it's closing Mixer down. That's why. Microsoft, who own Mixer, is shutting Mixer down.
Well, I'm looking here that this is just from 2:30 today. Ninja and Shroud and other top Mixer streamers are now free to stream on Twitch again.
Yep,
Wow.
because Mixer's going to be gone.
Yeah.
And I heard that he had a contract that's going to, he makes like $92,000 a day.
Tyler Ninja Blevins is his name.
Yeah.
$92,000 a day to play video games. Maybe Bryce Harper will retire from baseball and make 92 grand a game just sitting around and playing Fortnite with Snell bra in his bras on there. What? What did he have? I think it was like a $30 million deal.
Between $20 and $30 million. He left Twitch last August for Mixer for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Dude. I used to go to Mixers with Jerry Blavitt and stuff and those guys. Does that count?
Yeah, but you didn't make any money.
No, I just went to pick up chicks.
You were buying drinks.
I was just trolling.
Yeah.
I didn't have to buy drinks back
It's
then.
amazing how fast that happened, though, because Mixer, I mean, he just left to go to Mixer.
Right.
When was it? Like 4 months ago or something?
I don't know. I don't have a countdown clock on what Ninja does with his business playing Fortnite on sites. God bless him, though.
Yeah.
God bless America.
It was last August.
He left Twitch?
He left Twitch last August.
Has he followed me on I hope he streams me on this Twitch channel. When he goes back, I want him to, ghost host me. Right, Robin?
Yeah.
I need to get my Twitch game going here. I need some help. I got Babylon B now on Twitter.
Right.
I need Ninja.
You think that's going to help you?
Yeah. On Twitch, I can get like a couple million followers. Then I can retire in 6 or 7 weeks. Then if there's no sports, then I can take the rest of the year off.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, they seriously got the best deal out of anything with Ninja and Shroud, because not only did they get their upfront money, which was $30 million for Ninja and $10 million for Shroud from Mixer, but then they now get to go back to Twitch, which had the most of their viewers anyway.
Was that all upfront money?
Yeah.
Get Don Collins on the phone right now. I need to talk to him. I need to give him a good tongue lashing on this program. It's not my style, Harry. But Don Collins, whom you've met.
Yes.
Canadian guy.
Right.
That's the first thing. You can't trust Canadian dudes.
I met him at the Super Bowl, Radio
Yeah,
Row.
but he's a Canadian guy, and most of my Canadian guys are friends that I know are friends. I'm not too sure about this Don Collins guy. Unless I can get him to up the ante and offer me a considerable, guaranteed, upfront check, I may have to start peddling my services elsewhere, Harry.
Where? You have to have another place to go.
I know. I said I may have to.
Yeah.
I'm just letting the world know out there that I'm available. If these guys can get out of their deals at Mixer and Twitch and then go back and forth like baseball players who are unhappy with their contracts and then just declare themselves free agents, I'm going to declare myself a video free agent right now, Harry. So any of you Mixers out there, or Mixers is dead? Mixer's dead now?
Mixer's dead.
It's dead.
It's going bye-bye.
It's gone.
I thought Microsoft, what happened to, what's his face? Bill Gates, what's he doing? Did he give it a lethal injection of some kind?
Well,
why would Bill Gates, one of the richest men on earth, get rid of Mixer?
There is an issue with Mixer, and it has to do with...
Well, we have big issues with our Mixer, too. The board over there at that Arrakis, whatever the company is. Right, Josie? Let's go to a Mixer update from the man who mixes this show.
From the B.A. Baracus?
From the B.A. Baracus board company from Wisconsin somewhere. Aren't they in Wisconsin?
They're moving all their existing partners
Yes.
over to Facebook Gaming, apparently.
Facebook Gaming?
Facebook Gaming.
Dude.
But because Ninja and Shroud had the
exclusive with Mixer,
they
can
refused.
get out.
Right.
Yeah.
They had an out.
Right.
I should have an out with Twitch.
Well, we all need outs.
And because the out was that Mixer had to that Facebook, aka Mixer, had to pay them out their contract so that they could leave, and that's how come they got it all up front. This was not a good deal on their part.
Mixer?
On Mixer's part and Facebook's part.
Well, they thought they were stealing away a guy who was making millions and millions for Twitch.
They thought that they
and
would
then
be
Amazon bought Twitch.
They even offered to double the contract for both Ninja and Shroud to
Shroud,
keep
not the
them.
Shroud of Turin.
No,
I don't think that's available right now. Has it been authenticated again, or are they still bringing that thing around the country?
What, do you expect to get a blue check next to it that it's authentic,
yes,
verified?
Yeah, Facebook offered almost double the money for both those guys, and they said no.
Nope.
We're out.
It looks like I picked a wrong lifetime to not play video games.
I know.
When I was playing, it was like in television where the whole screen would blow up. Remember? That was we got in television
and
now.
then Atari.
No, the Atari was the first one. Pong was
Pong.
the very first.
That was
Pong
awesome.
was the first one.
Yeah.
And then you went up to like in television.
Oh, that
Remember
came
that?
second?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I was already out of it by then.
Yeah.
The boring – I was so bored with Atari when I was like 12 years old, whatever it was.
You didn't
I
like
was
Space Invaders and that stuff, huh? That's when it got a little more
that was
upscale.
You had to go to the mall for that. We
Yeah,
go
exactly.
to the mall for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's before
Galaga was a big one.
Yes, I remember Galaga.
I remember my
and
buddy
then, of course,
was really into that.
Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Pac-Man
of
was
course,
huge.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
Although I was having a discussion with my parents about how arcades are different. I remember when I was a kid, they still had ashtrays bolted to the machines.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Now it's like, you couldn't believe that, but like every game had, an ashtray next to it.
It's like when you go into an airplane, there's still some old planes that still have a little ashtray on the armrest that used to open up and put the cigarette butts in there, Harry, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And it could only hold like 3 or 4.
I know.
And then you get on the plane and you try to open it, but it would be stuck because it was stuffed with cigarettes.
Stuffed with cigarette butts.
Dude, and it stunk. So now, the only thing worse. Oh, by the way, we were watching a TV show, and then somebody made a tuna sandwich reference last night.
What show was this?
I don't know. Some other show Robin's watching. What's it called?
Oh gosh, what was it?
Upload?
Oh, Upload.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's Prime. And it's about the afterlife. You can choose to either just die or have your brain be uploaded into the cloud, and you can continue
To live in this beautiful place.
This like digital life. Anyway, there is a scene in there.
And there's a nerve center where the people who are the angels who take care of the people who die and go to
They're
this
like the
upload land.
programmers. And they get to talk, and one of the programmers is talking about how there is a woman who is down at a desk down the aisle from her who is eating a tuna fish sandwich, and she wants to throw her out the window.
Exactly right. I said, I'll watch the show. One more episode.
I'm out on that show.
I'm out on that show.
It's good.
It's okay.
It's
I
actually
already
better
know how
than
it
I
ends.
thought it would be.
It's good, but it's predictable. I don't want predictable. That's why I like sports.
You
It's
were
not predictable
wrong.
most of the
You
time.
thought you knew who killed the person.
I know
and you were
it's going to
wrong.
happen. I watched 6 episodes. Luckily, it's only like 26 minutes, so it's a half-an-hour
Oh,
show.
okay. I can handle that.
So I went through like 5 or 6 with Robin just to placate her, even though it was Father's Day and I
Just
really didn't
to
want to watch
placate her.
it. Well, it's Father's
So nice
Day.
of him, right?
Shouldn't I have the remote control on
I
Father's
agree.
Day?
I think you should have it every day.
Well, we have multiple TVs. I just go
Yeah.
to my TV.
Harry,
and
you're
they-
not helping.
She can watch, what's his name, Bosch, for 20 straight hours. I'm out on Bosch.
I can't
I'm
believe
sorry.
you wouldn't like that.
I'm not watching six years of episodes, Harry.
It goes
I don't
fast.
have time for that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Stay off Twitter and watch Bosch.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm watching Science Channel.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
not.
What do I watch
You're
every
on
night,
Twitter
Rob?
24/7.
No, I'm
I
not.
see you tweeting every 20 seconds.
Exactly.
That is crap, Harry.
I've muted you 400 times.
You muted me, Harry?
Yeah. It's nonstop.
You dirty, rotten,
Thank you.
lousy
Thank you.
bastard. I'm going to have to give you one. How the hell can you mute me? Who the hell mutes me? Jesus.
Sometimes I'm tempted
See?
to.
Tempted.
And then I'm like, I better not. That might be considered rude.
I just muted Nick Cale.
Yeah,
Again.
I never mute anybody.
No?
No. I just block the sons of bitches. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of the big radio guys over the weekend apparently eliminated his Twitter.
Yes, I
Yes.
know. I read.
Well, he just went on it like a
But
year
he-
ago.
Well, I know.
He shut it down just briefly, and then he says he might come back, right?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. But he eliminated the account.
Yeah.
It's a smart move. It's a smart move.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Well, I can't eliminate it yet.
Why?
Because Twitter to me is like a hooker.
Yeah.
You know, you need her. It's legal. You need her. You give her a couple bucks.
Hookers
She
aren't
takes
legal
care
here.
of you. Well, no, it's like a legal hooker.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Everything's
So
legal
you're in
now.
Vegas.
You're in
You're
Vegas.
outside Vegas.
It's like a prostitute. You pay it. Well, we don't have to pay
No,
Twitter.
it's free.
You use it,
Yeah.
and then you use until you use it up. I use Twitter. Twitter uses me. It's like it's a tit for tat. It's like a quid pro quo. I use them like the nasty tramp that they are, and then they use me. and then throttle me. I had to rip them over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to rip them over the weekend. Remember when I did on Friday because they were throttling me?
Well,
guess what happened? They unthrottled me.
Yeah.
Yes.
How?
I was stuck at 63,900 and did not know how many followers I had. After I ripped them and named Jack on the tweet as a verified, certified person, guess what happened? All of a sudden,
Now
on
you're up
Saturday,
to 64.
Yeah, now I can see how many
I
followers
see it, 64,042.
Yeah, but when you would put it over the number, it was locked in at 960. So I uncovered another scam to prove that Twitter is really the enemy of the people.
I'm no longer throttled now, too, because now I can see exactly
because
how many
I made sure that freedom reigned.
Oh, you did it for the whole show?
Yes. While people were worried about statues, attacking them and killing them in the streets, I was speaking on behalf of the millions and millions of people who are sick and tired of having their voices throttled by the Nazis at Twitter. And I don't like to use the word Nazi, but everybody uses it anyway.
You spoke for the people.
Yes.
Well, where is this tweet that you sent Jack?
Last weekend. I said it was Friday, I think.
I was
at 63,900 for like a month, even though I know I'm adding hundreds of followers every day because I can see the people who are following me.
Mm-hmm.
But it never went up. And then all of a sudden, I ripped Jack and Twitter support, and boom. Let me give myself a roaring round. You got to use your power when you have it, Harry. You got to use the power. You got to fight the power.
Fight the power.
Yeah, it was only 3,452 tweets ago, says the Caleb Mutombo.
That's probably right. See? Way to go.
Thank you, punk.
My God.
We'll see if I give you any help in Indianapolis. I'll lock you at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in a garage. You keep that stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, with great power comes great responsibility.
I have to ask Miss Robin and Harry something now here. So,
Go right ahead.
I don't know if you getting unthrottled is the best thing that could happen.
Why?
Because now
more people will see the tweets.
Well, no,
my tweets are not harmful. My tweets are straight down the middle. I speak for the people who are afraid to go on there.
I mean, are you going to be looking now at that follower number?
Oh, he does
now
that
you
anyway.
know
He's
it's going to be
obsessed with it.
Right.
No, I'm not at all. I'm not at all. I just knew something was up. I knew
He's
there was
also
something.
very self-aware.
I knew there was some hanky-panky going on. Because I never looked at it until I saw that I was down to 63.9 for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And then I scrolled over the number, and it didn't show you how many people were there.
Right. I
You
noticed
said
that, too.
I pointed that out to you
I
last
noticed
week.
that, too.
That's not just me, by the way. I'm not just talking about me.
I'm not here for the followers or the likes.
I'm not here for the followers here. But if you're going to run a site where it's supposed to be an open public forum, then keep it open.
That's BS.
Speaking of open public forum, we have our lines, our phone lines are open. So if you would like to call in and tell Tony just how self-aware he is, you can give us a call at 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669, and call the Strapper line while you're at it.
Well, we have calls to
message.
play. We have some Strapper line calls. We'll fire those coming up next, too. So stick around. Anything you need me to do on your behalf, America, I'm here for you, the people. For the people. Oh, no, that's one of those lawyers things, right? For the people. We're coming right back.
Yeah, which one is that?
I think it's Morgan and Morgan.
Morgan and Morgan, yeah.
Morgan and Morgan.
It's not Krasner and
Ahmadinejad. And Ahmadinejad, I think.
Yeah.
That was
Jim
the other
Kick died, huh?
I know. Yeah, I saw that over the week. No, Saturday night or Friday night. I fell asleep early. I was shot.
Yeah, you did.
And I went upstairs. I wasn't feeling great. So I went upstairs, and Robin was watching Bosch.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally went upstairs at 10 o'clock and started watching the Science Channel. I watch What on Earth. I watch Unearthed, Mysteries of the Abandoned, all those shows on Science Channel.
Right.
So I fall asleep. And then Robin's downstairs, and I wake up at like 2:15. So I don't know what time. I fell asleep somewhere between 10 o'clock and midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up and look at the clock, and it's 2:15, and Robin's not in bed. So I said, Robin, where the hell are you? It's 2:15. So, of course, once I wake up and go to the bathroom, I can't fall back to sleep.
Right.
So then I take a sleeping pill, and I'm laying in bed, and I couldn't shut my brain off. So you know what I had to do? I had to come downstairs, and I went down, and that's when I found out about the whole thing in South Dakota. I was on Twitter between 2:30 and 5 o'clock Saturday morning because I couldn't sleep.
And by the way, do you know how I know that Tony's not watching any TV shows down here?
I don't come down here to watch TV shows.
Yes, you were only on Twitter, and
It's
that
the only
whole
place where I
narrative-
have an active computer, Robin.
Yes.
That's why I come down here.
Oh no, your
No, my computer does not work in the office. We took it into the Geek Squad, and it doesn't work. Or I'd be sitting up there. Why would I come down here?
Well, for one, it's cooler down here. Your office is hot. But I know that these TVs haven't been turned on because the volume's still completely at zero. So I know that you don't watch any of your shows down here.
I don't. I watch them up in bed. That's where I watch every freaking Science Channel show that I watch. I don't watch the crap you watch. I don't watch a Bosch and all these other
Speaking of-
17-season goddamn shows.
Speaking of shows, Harry, did you and the Lima watch the Mrs. Maisel?
I watched season 1.
So
season
good.
2, it started to be more about the manager. I hate her manager. The little troll.
Yeah, she is kind of a...
Yeah.
I hate all those shows. That one with what's her name that she watches with the.
But it's good.
That other stupid show with this Hanoi Jane and Lily Tomlin. There's some crappy show that Robin watches.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
What is
Lily
that called?
Tomlin.
Yeah.
I like the writing on the show. I don't necessarily like the actors. I don't mind Lily, actually, but Jane Fonda is kind of a whatever.
I don't care about her politics. I just think the show is.
No,
boring.
it's contrived. It's definitely contrived, but
I learn every week when I watch. Strange Evidence is a new good show too, Robin. Harry.
John's from Abington. Bosch is a great show. Harry was the one that he kept saying how fantastic it was, and I never bothered because I was already I'm like 6 seasons behind, so I didn't want to get into it. And then I finished Mrs. Maisel, and Bosch was right there on the screen next to it,
don't have
and
time
I
for that.
clicked on it. I'm like, let me just check it out.
Give me
And I
a
was
1-hour
hooked
show with
from the
and
very
I learned
first
something.
show.
I don't learn anything from those shows, Robin.
I do. I learned how to kill people.
You know what else I can't stand about Maisel was the ex-husband.
I know he's
He's
of
a pussy.
He's a total dweeb.
Yeah.
But I did like, and I did like her new husband prospect, who she unfortunately left at the altar. Oh, whatever. Yes, I do watch This Is Us. It is fantastic. The writing is amazing. I don't
care about that crap. Just give me some.
Y'all
quality
are just
knowledge stuff. Give me some Gold Rush.
This
Give
Is
me
Us is some of the best writing
science.
and editing.
Are you a science
This
denier,
Is
Robin?
Us-
Are you a science denier?
Totally. Science, forget about it. See, Swedish Chef, don't watch Forensic Files with your wife. Gives her too many ideas.
I don't watch Forensic Files. I don't watch any of those stupid
See,
shows.
all of those types of files, the forensic files and stuff, you watch them so that you know how people got caught, so that you know not to make those same mistakes.
I like the Lenny Bruce character.
Yes.
He's good.
Very good.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Tony and Harry just arguing during the break about TV shows. You can watch whatever you want. Just don't tell me what to watch. I watch my man on Expedition Unknown, Josh Gates. I have to watch shows and then say, Robin, you ought to see this edition of on Science Channel of Strange Evidence. It's amazing stuff, man. Every once in a while, I watch Deadliest Catch and all those tuna fishing shows. That's the stuff.
But you don't like tuna.
I like fresh tuna. I don't like canned tuna.
Tuna salad.
No, he will eat fresh tuna
Yeah.
that's just been
Ahi.
caught, and
That's tuna.
like a good
stuff in the can.
ahi steak.
That's nasty stuff.
Seared. He'll
And the
eat
company, the guys who run those companies are criminals, so I'm not going to support canned tuna. Canned heat, that's different.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because I love going out in the country, you know what I'm saying? You weren't a canned heat fan, Harry?
I think they have 2 songs.
How many songs, Joe? You know more than 2 canned heat. Going up in the out in the country.
Going up the country.
Let's Work Together, and they have a really good jam on the like in the Woodstock documentary, but I can't think of the name of it.
Meanwhile, let's get to the strapper line. The strapper line is there for you, just like I am, 24/7 a day. And all you do is call this number, 856-818-4045. 856-818-4045. You leave a recorded message. Like if you get up at 2:15 in the morning and you can't go back to bed.
Why did you not leave yourself a message on the strapper line? when you were up?
Because I wanted to go to sleep. I took a sleeping pill and was waiting for it to have effect.
I slept 10 and a half hours last night.
Did you really?
Nice.
Yeah. I hate to do it.
Yeah.
I bet it felt really good.
It did.
Let's go to the strapper line.
Tony, Harry, Miss Robin, Jeff from Delco checking in. You know, baseball is truly dropping the ball right now. And not only with the fact of what they're doing with these back and forth with the union and the owners, they have a grand opportunity in front of them to actually use this as a template to try different things to try and get people back into the game. The 60, 70 game season, you can try a bunch of different things. And I'm not just talking about the universal DH. Let's face it, and I'm a lifelong baseball fan. Baseball has become too nerdy. And what I mean by that, it's way too many numbers. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, but too many numbers for me. Back in the day, come up to the plate, it would be average, home runs, RBIs. That was it. Perfect. Great. I don't need to know anything else. Now somebody comes up to the plate, it's average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, average runner in scoring position, the amount of times they've struck out with their wife at home. It's absurd how many numbers are involved with this. Love to hear your thoughts. Love you guys.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. War and all this other. War. What is it good for, Harry?
Yeah, what is it? Wins above replacement or something? Yeah, I'm okay with some of that because you don't have to pay attention to it if you don't want to. The thing I don't like about what analytics has done to the game is the way it's affected the way they pitch guys, they shift, the way they put all these guys on the right-hand side of the field because
too
they
much
know
micromanaging.
The chart, the hit charts tell them where everything's going to be, and it's
micromanaging is why I got away from radio at the end.
Yeah,
micromanaging has ruined the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have meetings to talk about the next meeting. You got Zoom meetings to talk about things that, for the most part, nobody cares about. It's the only chance to check out the people who work in your company and see if there's anybody hot you want to hit on.
But I like what did he say? How many times they struck out with their wives?
Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty funny.
They should have that stat.
They should.
It's a good thing Bryce Harper, though, is at least making more babies while taking a break from Fortnite. Probably went 2 weeks straight on the paddle.
Yeah.
And then said, hey, hon, you know what? Maybe I should come up and spend some time with you and the kids.
Now,
and then, boom, they make another baby. And then he goes back down in the basement.
Yeah, he's rocking the man bun a lot lately. Like, is that just from COVID-19?
He's just full-on bro.
Bro, he is. Is he bro or bra? He's bra now.
No, he's a bro.
He's a Vegas. He's from Vegas, you know.
Yeah.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Everything he's doing, man, is just extra. On social media, everything.
Yeah, did his wife tell him to get off of social media? I mean, he's posting pictures of himself walking in the woods.
I know.
People think I'm nuts. I would never go out in the woods and take a picture of me in black and white of me walking in the woods with a man bun.
Right. Can we get a parody photo of you walking in the woods with a man bun?
Did you have a man bun in the 70s?
No, I just had the long hair.
Okay.
Do you
didn't
think
do
that
man buns back
we
then,
could take the Bob Ross wig that the fabulous AJ in San Antonio gave us and form it into a man bun?
No, there's not enough hair.
I don't think there's enough there.
I have it right here. No, it's not enough. It's not long enough.
It's tighter.
Tight. I'm just going to leave it up there and have like a real high top. You know what I look like? My boys from Kid and Play.
Yeah,
you do.
Kid Play look. Like Kid. How's that right there? You like that?
Yeah, see, he's got a big pony man bun kind of thing going there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He looks ridiculous.
Harper bra? Harper bra?
$30 million for the next 20 million years. I mean, better do something with the man bun.
All right, do we have another strapper line call in the hopper? Let's fire.
All right, give me 1 second. I already back up.
What do you want, Robin?
I want the wig. I want to see if I can fashion something.
Don't mess my wig up. I got to do some Bob Ross paintings. Let's get it back.
Bruno.
Yeah.
How are you going to downplay my Belmont picks? I mean, when I give you a winner, I should be praised. I mean, Harry's horse, he's in a freaking glue factory today. Brent Musburger's horse, I don't even think he's left the gate yet. I told you that VSNIN guy, whoever he was, I told you his horses are a bunch of pigs. So when I give you the winner and everybody else around you is giving you losers, I need to be, propped up here, brother. I'm in that Twitch chat giving your people free winners. the stock market. I'm giving free winners. My college football picks over the years, 75% clip. I mean, come on, brother. God, Don, what's a man got to do to get a little taste of vitamins around here?
I got your vitamin right here,
And
pal.
Robin, for you, in that bag giveaway, let me tell you what. I read XM Sirius Radio's rule book for contest. It was like as long as War and Peace. And I am eligible. And go read the rules. I am eligible. So if my name pops up in that little box, WGH Dean, and you don't have my letters and names inscribed in that bag and mailed to me, you'll be hearing Here Comes the Judge by Sammy Davis Jr. You'll be seeing Aaron Judge in a courtroom someday, maybe Judge Judy. But, sweetheart, let it be known, I'm eligible for that contest, damn it.
Rack that guy. Get him out of here.
Well, no, he is incorrect because even though that we are on SiriusXM, this is an independent show, and we do not have the same rules as the rest of SiriusXM, especially for our contests. These are Tony Bruno Show rules, which
we make the rules.
Supersede.
We make the rules.
So he's bragging about having the 4 to 5 win.
Yeah, everybody picked the 8. Everybody picked the 8.
Yeah.
Now, he played a couple of exactas, and he put a bunch of horse. I'm not giving him. He puts it on the Twitch stream, and he puts it on Twitter, and then people can bet it. I didn't tell anybody not to bet his picks. I talked to him on Saturday. He gave me his picks, and we were both talking about it. I had my picks. I had the horses. I had the 8 and the 3. I had the 10, and I had the 9, but I didn't have them in the right sequential order. But it wasn't a big deal. It's not like I missed a $51,000 50-cent superfecta. It was a couple. We won like $40, and he's going, "What's a parade?"
Yeah, right.
You win $45 for God's sake. What you want me to do? You can't even buy a damn round of a good bottle of wine for that.
Exactly.
You want enough money to buy a bottle of wine? Whoop-de-damn-do. Cheapers.
And what about his stock picks? What stock picks is he
He's in the tank. He and, what's his name, the Barstool guy, Portnoy. That's all they do. They sit on their internet all day and tell people what stocks to bet on. God bless him. I wish I had $1 million to play with and sit around and play on the stock market every day. That's gambling. I don't have time to sit around.
Does he have $1 million to play with?
Oh, yeah. He got a gazillion dollars. Bet that Penn National
No,
bought.
I'm talking about Dean. I know Portnoy's got money.
Oh, okay. Dean says he won $673.
On the horse.
He sent me the tickets, but, it's like people's fantasy teams.
TMC
Once you win, do I care?
215. Tell him to get out. Get out.
Sheepers.
Do
what
we
a
have
pain in the ass.
any more strapper calls, or was that it?
We only have a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a minute. We'll do it in the next hour.
Plus, I want to implement a rule on the strappers calls.
All right, let's get a rule in here.
Under 1 minute.
Yeah.
Under 1 minute, because we have a lot of calls. We want to play them, but when it's 1:50, man, can't do it.
You know what?
No,
Some that are 3 minutes long. It's
no,
like,
no 3 minutes.
No soliloquies up here.
Yeah,
but
3
let me
minutes
just say
is
this.
a long time.
No, let me just say 3 minutes is too long. But taking the Tom Bigby approach to radio.
2 minutes, right.
Which is what he was the guy that was the program director. He was a top 40 DJ music guy who took the system of radio. You play the hits.
Play the hits.
And a record should be like 2.5 minutes. A caller
And
should
those are the
never be more
callers.
than 2 minutes.
Right.
So if it's a good call and it's 2 minutes, no problem. But if it's just ragging on and on and on and on, because they're live callers that only were on for a minute and they're not good content. So I don't want people to write scripts and do stuff.
Yeah.
You call in and we have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? How many minutes? No.
2. So that's the limit now?
2 minutes left in the strapper line. Yeah, if you have to script multiple pages, it's probably not going to work. This ain't the smack off after all. Those guys go long in the strap off, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a time limit.
I don't know either. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to go phones, and we're going to give you some updates. We got a lot of updates to get to, Harry. A lot of updates. So you stick around. Much more still ahead. The big final hour is coming up. Tony, Harry, Miss Robin, the whole gang is here, keeping it real for you. And most importantly,
I think I can set a time limit on it.
So it's 6 minutes for the smack off?
Is that right? Boy,
Wow.
that's really long.
That is really long.
Somebody asked me if I drink high noons on the Twitch stream. I haven't had one yet, but a bunch of my buddies love them.
They're pretty good.
Really? Yeah. Is there a lot of sugar in them?
There is some, but it's still good for you. Like, I got to pull up the label again. There is some sugar in it, but it's still...
Filter
I
spam.
played golf with one of my buddies on Saturday, and he swears by them. Like, he drank like
called?
5 of them, 6 of them.
High noons?
High noons. They're in a thin can.
Is it like an energy drink?
No, it's alcohol. It's like one, it's sort of like...
But it's fake out. It's like the stupid, they just put, what do you call it?
I think there's vodka in them, actually. Yeah.
But so you have to buy them in a liquor store. They're not. You can't buy them in a supermarket, right?
Right. Yeah, they come in these blue and yellow cans.
So Jim Kenney put out his the latest public health cases of COVID. 4 people died in the last week of COVID-19. 4 people die every night on the streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah. He's an idiot.
It remains a serious threat.
Vodka hard seltzer with real fruit juice, sparkling water, and natural flavor.
Yeah, see, hard seltzer means it's got, what do you call it? All those drinks were hard seltzer. There's like, what's the ingredient they put in there to make them seltzer?
100 calories, no sugar added, gluten-free.
It was like Zima and all those things. They put the same stuff in them.
Hubba Hubba says there's 4.5% alcohol.
But it's not like vodka.
Well, there is vodka in them.
What's it called again? High
Ed
Noon?
Nesta says
High
we sell a
Noon.
lot of them. High Noon. I usually just drink Lysol around noon
grapefruit
so I can clean
vodka
my system out.
hard seltzer.
It's all these drinks are. Everything's hard seltzer. Now you got every beer company has their own version of hard
Bud
seltzer.
Light, I've heard people raving
Everybody
about
does
those.
it. Coors has them. Every beer company now makes hard seltzer.
It's Sun Sips grapefruit vodka and soda.
I don't
Actually, I
even
would
like-
probably like that because I like grapefruit. 100 calories, no sugar, gluten-free. See, now, I could have sworn there was you could put in a time limit on these. Huh. Now I don't see it anywhere. We do. We have tons of lines. Do you realize that all of those voicemails are from Friday, These are all new. Did you archive the one that we just listened to?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Hanging in there, checking out stuff. I know Portnoy does the nooner. He has a sponsor. The guy's brilliant. I'm not ripping David Portnoy. The guy sits at home in Florida. He's down in Florida playing the stock market every day. Just
Good
like
for him.
Ninja plays video games. This guy now with no sports to talk about is playing the stock market. God bless him. I don't care what people do with their money. You know what I'm saying? But these this seltzer thing, this hardened seltzer craze has been going on for a couple of years. Started with White Claws. And what was the other one? It was White Claw and another one. There were the two big ones last summer. And now this
I
year,
just drink White Claw.
Truly's?
Yeah.
Is that
Truly, yeah. Truly and White Claw. Remember, last summer I was all over ripping White Claw, and I refused to drink them because it's a chick thing. And again, if men want to drink them, go right ahead. I don't care. No, Bartles and James. I don't even. Do they still make Bartles and James?
Probably.
Meanwhile,
that
coming
was
up
back
this
in
hour,
the mid-'80s.
the big story is, of course, Dak Prescott has signed his $31.4 million franchise tender. Tender? Do you swipe left or right when you sign it? And now they have till July 15th to reach a long-term deal or forever hold his peace.
Bartles and James do still exist.
Yeah, I thought so.
Those two dudes are not alive, are they?
They were probably just actors.
But are they dead, or did they bring those guys back?
Do not
Do they have
know.
avatars, or what do you call them? Not avatars.
Contact Frank and Ed.
Frank and Ed are still Bartles and James?
I don't know. They
They got to be in their 90s. They look the same age.
E&J Gallo Winery makes them. Yeah, but that was in 1981.
Yeah, those guys, they can't be alive. I mean, even if they're alive, they're not the same spokespeople, are they?
No, can't be.
It's ridiculous.
40,
Holograms.
almost 40
Thank you,
years
Captain
ago.
Mike. Maybe they're holograms.
The characters Frank Bartles and Ed James sat on a front porch and related their new discoveries.
I know all that, Robert.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to know if
Dick
they're
Mogg
alive.
and Ed James.
Portrayed
Dick
the dudes?
Mogg played Ed
Yep.
James, and David Rufkar played Frank Bartles, and apparently he died
Yeah.
of a heart attack. And the other guy died of cancer.
See what happens when you drink
Yeah.
all that crap with
Yeah.
the seltzer and stuff? Not Brian Seltzer, of course.
No. He still works for the Sixers.
But nobody's working for the Sixers
Well,
right now.
I think he's still getting paid.
No, I know. We love Brian Seltzer.
So they
on the
both
show.
died in 2015?
Yes. Yeah.
And they're still using those guys in their from 6 feet under to pimp seltzer?
Wow,
Jesus.
the number of flavors that they have is incredible.
Ridiculous, man.
I'll have to
That-
try a high noon.
That was the drink in my high school days when I moved here to the States. Was
Before
Bartles.
now, is that before or after the clubbing days?
That was after, because I started clubbing back home in the Netherlands.
In high school.
And I know, this is mentioning it, but, well, yeah, because there's no drinking age over there.
Okay, so there is no underage drinking.
No.
Wow.
Wait, Luigi checks in on the Bartles and James. Isn't that the Pistons backcourt? Now, you saw that one of the things that really sickens me is animal abuse. And in China right now,
I
where,
know, it's
Harry?
disgusting.
China.
The annual ritual of the dog auction where they sell dogs and people eat them is underway.
The dog market.
The dog market is open, and people are killing, eating dogs.
So that's real.
Oh,
That is
yeah,
real.
it's very real.
And,
it's
all
horrible.
these activists from around the world were calling for them to stop. You think they listened to people telling them to stop eating dogs? The one question I had was LeBron James there to throw out the first pitch this morning. Was he there to give the blessing when they started cooking the dogs over there? I wonder if they had any Nike-flavored dogs. They put some Nike sneakers on the dogs before they ate them over there.
So how do they kill them?
In very inhumane ways. It's horrendous, and I don't even want to go into the details. But if you want to see, they have the dogs that are alive in cages, and people go around and actually pick out dogs that are then killed right there. And
It's
then they take
gruesome. I
them.
mean,
It's
you can go on
horrible.
the internet and look this stuff up if you want to see it.
I don't want
But
to
it
see
is absolutely
It is just
one of the
horrendous.
most. And I understand different cultures, and I understand people do different things all over the world. But this one, and we're not going to show the photo here.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying that there's plenty of evidence of this. Hey, I haven't heard LeBron James chime in on this. I wonder why.
Well, he's getting ready for the restart of the season.
Oh,
Tony.
absolutely. I'm sure he's just absolutely locked in to figuring out, how he's going to beat the Orlando Magic with Markelle Fultz if they make it in the Eastern Conference in the finals.
Honestly, to me, it's just as bad, if not worse, than dogfighting.
Absolutely, it is.
It's just
Absolutely, it is.
It's horrible.
You
There's
know
a difference.
the NBA season resumes in less than 38 days, Tony.
You have a countdown clock
Countdown
for
is
that?
on, yes.
You have a countdown clock for that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a countdown on when Davis Bertans is going to play or whether he's going to play or not? That's one of the big stories, as you know.
Well, yeah, apparently he's not going to play.
He's 27 years old, obviously European play. I think
Plays for the Wiz.
Plays for nobody beats the Wiz. Harry.
Wiz or was out?
No, Wiz. Nobody
Wiz.
beats the Washington Wiz.
And he's had two
ACL
tears. In
Now,
his
the guy's a
history.
great six-man off the bench. He can score. He's a
He can
great
score.
player.
Yeah, he can
But now
shoot.
here's the thing. A lot of people are taking sides on this, especially your boy out there, the sided guy. What's his name out there in California?
Scott Kaplan?
Scott Kaplan. I wonder if he's got a side on this. I take sides. I like a little hash browns on the side. My side's like last night we had cauliflower, mashed cauliflower au gratin, and we had some spinach with the lobster and the filet mignon on the grill.
Sounds good.
Those are the sides I like. The side on this one is, what's interesting is that his team, the Washington Wizards, which have virtually no shot.
They have zero shot.
They have a shot mathematically, but they have zero shot because not even if they were to wind up playing, because they're in the 22-team mix.
Right.
Even if they were to find a way to get in the playoffs, they would have to have 2 sudden elimination playoffs as soon as they make the playoffs.
Yeah, aren't they the only representative from the Eastern Conference that's not currently in the top 8?
I don't know what the stats are. I know they're like 5.5 games back. They're like 5.5 games back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and you have to be within 6 games.
Right,
or
and so
something.
mathematically,
Yeah.
they are alive. And so if they were a lot, and here's the interesting thing. He's an unrestricted free agent.
They're 24 and 40. I mean, they're not good.
I totally agree with you, Harry, but I don't make the rules here. We just comment on the rules.
I know.
And so the situation now is ESPN's Bobby Marks, who's a guy who does all the cap stuff and looks at numbers.
Yeah.
He says that he will lose $604,752 if the Wizards don't pass the seeding games.
Mm-hmm. And they won't.
And they won't.
Right.
And he won't go because he's worried about his health and he's worried about his
He's
knees.
worried about getting injured again, I guess, in games that
So
really
he won't worry
deems
about getting injured
they don't
if
matter.
they re-sign him and give him a fat new contract? Will he be worried about going out and playing then?
Well, then he'll play.
Of course he will.
Yeah.
That's like me saying, well, I don't want to go get COVID-19, so I'm not going to go down to see my grandson. Or I'm not going to do this show every day because there's gunfire outside in our neighborhood every day.
I mean,
I have more risk than this guy does, Davis Bertans, of having problems, continuing their career, Harry.
He's got, he's on the doorstep of what will be the biggest payday of his career.
I understand that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to say, I'm not going to go down there and help my team try to make the playoffs, you other guys go down there now because I want somebody to offer me more money. And then his team, in a very lame attempt, says, well, we stand behind. We stand behind Davis.
Not Davis Love.
No, not the second, third, or fourth. And what happened to your guy? Speaking of old dudes like Davis Love III.
What, Furyk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Jim
sucked.
Furyk. He shot.
He stunk.
Spoken like a man who had him in the weekend golf action.
He will not be in any lineups going forward, I can tell you that.
Harry is erased.
Yes.
Jim Furyk.
I've canceled Jim Furyk.
What about in the seniors and the champions if the old guys go out and play?
No,
Will you bang him there?
He would dominate then.
He would dominate in the seniors?
Yeah, he would be really good there.
So we got the NASCAR rain delayed. Not Buddy Love, and I want winners. That's all that matters right now. But the NHL, give them credit, Harry. The Hub City decision, not Hub Arkish, not his decision. That'll come later in football. Next week, Harry, and they're saying a Canadian city is in the mix.
I know, I saw that.
It's in the mix.
Now, what do you think it is? Toronto?
Toronto 8? Probably. I think Toronto's probably the easiest to get in and out of, even though the situation with you have to stay 14 days in quarantine, and that was one of the problems between coming back and forth between Canada. Canadians are not allowed to come into the United States, I guess. You're not allowed to go across country, even if you play without doing the 15 to 2 week quarantine.
Right. Yeah.
But you saw that Austin Matthews from Toronto,
he got the COVID, right?
Yeah, he's got the COVID.
He was the number one draft pick a few years ago.
And a couple of the Arizona Coyote players that he was working out with apparently tested positive. And again, we hear tested positive, and the first thing you think is, oh, they're going to die. Jim Kenney, the mayor of this city, just announced that over the last week, there were a bunch of cases. 4 people died of COVID in Philadelphia in the last week. 4 people died Saturday night in this city at the hands of gang shootings.
Right.
But he doesn't post any of those numbers.
No, but is there any context to the 4 deaths? Like how old were they? Were they compromised?
No, they don't have to give you that information.
Okay.
They don't have to give you that information.
Did you also hear that D.L. Hughley
he has
comedian,
it. He lives in Nashville.
He collapsed on stage. He didn't have any of the symptoms. He didn't have a fever. He didn't have any breathing issues. Nothing. There were absolutely no symptoms. He was on stage doing a show and just passed out.
But he supposedly has like a diabetes situation going on.
Oh, so he was was he performing?
Yes,
in Nashville?
because a lot of comics from California, like Adam Carolla and all those guys, they've been going to Tennessee because Tennessee's been open, and so if they want to do comedy gigs, that's what they've been going. They've been going to Nashville, Tennessee to do comedy clubs.
And so he was rushed to the hospital, and then they tested him, and he was shocked that he actually had it because he didn't have any of the other symptoms. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
And it could have been just he was worn out.
Could have been dehydration.
Right.
I know that affects me from time to time.
That's why you
got to keep hydrating, man.
Yeah, by the way, vodka does not hydrate.
No, it does not.
It dehydrates.
It's actually
you got to drink a lot of water.
Worse for you.
I do like there's that. Who is the commercial that they in the commercial they're all drinking and they're like, stop, everybody, water break, and then they all drink water at the same time.
I have no idea.
What liquor company is that?
No idea.
No idea.
Somebody will tell me on the Twitch chat room. It's a great commercial because people don't remember. They don't remember.
Then it's not a great commercial if you don't remember it.
Well, I remember.
Yeah, you're supposed to know the product by the.
I don't care about the product, but
well,
the
that's what the
commercials
commercials there to sell. You think they're there really just to tell you to drink water?
I love
they
that
want you
story.
to drink the booze.
I love that. I've seen that commercial 15 times. I love the storyline.
Oh, yeah,
Captain
I have
Morgan.
no idea what they're selling.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of not remembering,
Tennessee Jed.
Harry Mays, you got a gift today from AJ in San Antonio.
Yeah,
which
what's
you
in the
opened
box?
earlier.
Oh, what's
did.
in the box?
AJ got me the Cigar Minder 4. The
number
all-purpose
4?
cigar clip
Is this
for
like
people on the move, Tony.
Cigar Finder 4?
Over 750,000 have been sold.
Wow. What about 1, 2, and 3? Is this the upgrade? Is this
it's
the
an
absolute
upgrade.
best?
Yeah, I think it's just probably a different color and maybe the connector. So you clip this onto the golf cart.
Uh-huh. What happens if you just don't have a cart? You want to walk with your bag. Can you clip it on the bag?
No. I don't think it works that way.
You know who we have to hear from? Loudmouth Dean from Loud Bags today.
Yes.
I want to know the rules about the bag giveaway. We're giving one away for the 4th of July.
That's right.
Fireworks sold separately, though.
And Dean in Clearwater is ineligible.
He's ineligible. We have made the official ruling. So Dean from down there in Florida, who runs loudbagsinc.com, we're going to give away another bag, Harry, and we got to figure out the rules. You know what I'm saying?
So thanks, AJ in San Antonio.
Thank you. And we got the T-shirts from our buddy Heath. Harry's got the I Am Pissed Off shirt. Robin's got the beautiful shirt.
And you can get these shirts yourself at TonyBrunoShow.com/shop, SHOP. And we have new product and new designs being added all the time.
Beautiful. You got to get some tats, too, and some piercings. That's all coming up. Stick around. 215-462-TONY is the number. You talk, you call, and we talk. That's how it works on the show. You know what's on the table? Everything's on the table. Let's eat when we come back.
The person who gave me the Crown Royal, or the Captain Morgan, corrected himself, say it was Crown Royal, which actually was what I thought it was.
I thought the Crown Royal one was the guy who goes out and buys his mom a bottle of Crown Royal in the
that's a
satchel.
good one, too.
And he
That
brings
was
it
a
to
Mother's
his mom.
Day one.
No, it's still running. It's a guy who wants to give his mom some love, and he buys her a bottle of Crown Royal.
Isn't it a singer that is...
No, I think it's a Hispanic dude who's just going home.
It's like a celebrity dude. It says, AJ in San Antonio says, clip it to your golf bag, Harry.
I know.
You can also clip it to your golf bag. It doesn't have to be to the cart. So this is an off radio. Jeff from Delco. That's the one we just did, right? Oh, that was Dean. We're getting rid of that one.
We doing more of these?
Did you see this one right here?
No, I'm just checking.
Did you see that one? It's a statue of Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
And whose statues topple and his head breaks the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And guy writes, so it wasn't all about the Benjamins? Now that's funny, huh? Now that's funny.
So yeah, there's no more stropper lines. I mean, the ones that are on there were too long to play. Okay.
So, is the race back on?
Yeah, can we put that on that TV?
I thought they had another weather delay.
I think they do. We got to put that up there.
It's incredible.
Is it on Fox or is it?
Yeah, Fox.
Okay. I didn't know if they kept it on Fox and preempted the local programming, the local murders and dumpster fires.
Fox Sports?
Oh, it's Anthony Ramos who was in Hamilton. That's the actor.
Fox Sports. See, I knew it was.
No, Fox Sports is FS1. It's just Fox.
Just Fox, yeah. Fox 29.
Fox 29.
No, I did not play golf today.
There it is, the Geico 500. There's the money line car. Number
Money
22
line,
looks like there's
Joey
still.
Money lion, not
Yes.
money. Yeah.
That's not what I said. That's not the
Stage
snap.
1, 3 laps to go.
I love the guy up in the tower has a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell's that going
Well,
to
he's
do?
got other guys with
Oh,
him.
okay,
I guess
okay.
that's why.
Again, lines are open.
Oh, there's the Barstool car. That's the number 14 car. Is that Clint Boyer in there?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Cole Custer, Harry?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. A lot of rain in Florida. That race down there in Talladega, they're trying to get that thing finished up. That J.J. Redick, former 76er, is leading now, Harry, with 3 laps to go in stage 1. Wonder what he's been doing in obscurity. Where's he playing now?
Yeah, with the Pelicans. That's right.
So he'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing how many different stickers that they are able to get on, in, around, under those cars.
The best part is when the drivers have to thank all of them at the end of the race, and if they forget one, they get spanked.
I saw one of those, and it was actually really smart. Right on his door, he had all of his sponsors listed on a list on his door.
Of course.
And he literally didn't have to think of it. He looked over and just read them right off.
It's a good job out of him. It's like going to the Academy Awards and forgetting one of your 17 producers and agents.
I mean, it's truly amazing what surfaces that they are able to put stuff on.
I usually just write it in the palm of my hand like I did with Chick's numbers back in the day, Harry. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile.
Or for tests in school.
Yes, exactly. Cheat sheets,
Yeah.
Harry. That's why we call them cheat sheets.
Girls would wear skirts and write it on the inside of your thigh because then that way the teachers usually couldn't ask to look at it.
Now, we have this, I don't want to really get into it because I hate these stories. The story about Brett Favre. Did you see that over the weekend, Harry?
Yeah, something about Kaepernick.
Brett
Yeah.
Favre.
Saying that he's going to be
He should be a hero too.
Yes.
And he was talking about, somebody asked him a question, and he said that Pat Tillman, who of course became a pro activist.
Well, he left football to
Yeah,
go
he walked
to-
away from
right.
millions of dollars after 9/11 to
Right.
join the Army and become an Army Ranger.
Mm-hmm. And then died.
And it turned out to be friendly fire, unfortunately, but it was after September 11th. That's when he said, you know what, I'm going to walk away from the game. Great player, obviously, in Arizona. And then he got killed in friendly fire. So he's seen as a hero. And I guess Brett Favre was asked about it by TMZ. And he said that, it's not easy for a guy his age, black, white, Hispanic, to stop something you've always dreamt of doing, put it on hold for something you believe in. Pat Tillman did something similar, and he's a hero. I assume Kaepernick will be stamped as a hero as well. I don't know. The difference is I believe that when Pat Tillman walked away, it wasn't that nobody wanted to hire him or he was cut, and then he didn't want to play anymore.
No, he was not blackballed from the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kaepernick was blackballed from the league. There's
Yes.
no doubt about that. But he also turned down opportunities where he could have stayed and played, and he didn't. So it's not like he was blackballed after the whole kneeling thing.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, he was still employed. He lost his job to Blaine Gabbert in San Francisco. And I don't really care if somebody hires him or not. I'm not sitting here. I'm not one of these guys, well, they should never play again. Or I hope nobody signs him. I don't care if anybody signs him. They sign him, that means they want to hire him. Go
I think
right
it'd
ahead.
be an interesting storyline if somebody does.
I agree.
To see if he could beat out whoever the starter is in some of these spots.
And,
Because there are a bunch of guys that are on the second and third string who you're like, who are these guys?
I totally agree. That's not even debatable
Yeah.
anymore. That argument has already been had 50 million times on every talk show in America. I'm not one to determining whether Colin Kaepernick can play, should play, won't play. That's up to teams. And now all these teams, and I'm sure Brett Favre's in the same situation. He was asked a question. He didn't want to give an answer where he would be, everybody would not be buying his Tommy Copper sleeves and stuff. He wouldn't be able to sell on pimp all the stuff he does on TV.
Him and Jerry Rice.
Exactly right. So I'm sure, again, I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm saying he answered a question, and a lot of people will disagree with him. You can't compare. They're not comparable. You can't compare Pat Tillman, who died after he enlisted in the Army and became, an Army Ranger and served overseas, to a guy who was playing football, lost his starting job to a scrub, and then decided he didn't want to play. And then after he decided he didn't want to play, he had a couple of offers and turned them down. Pat Tillman didn't have offers.
Well, I don't
he
know
didn't
that he
come
had
back
offers.
Home.
There was supposedly some camp that he ended up not going to, where he could have shown his wares to NFL personnel,
Exactly.
and then he didn't show up.
All the minutiae stuff. And now, of course, all of these coaches are like, we'll invite him in now. So everybody's doing the same thing. They're doing damage control.
Yeah.
All these same people who didn't give him a chance because he was blackballed.
Like
now
Seattle.
the commissioner is all apologetic. When people put you against the corner, the only person you can't put in a corner is Baby, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't put Baby in a corner. But when you put NFL players, owners, the commissioner, you put those suckers in a corner, they're all going to squeal like a pig because they all want to be safe. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to they don't want the mob to come after them. They don't want to be canceled. Brett Favre's probably thinking, hey, I'm still making money. Although I'm giving him credit for thinking that hard. Because I'm sure when somebody came up to him from TMZ, wherever they caught him.
I think he was doing a show. He does like a weekly.
No, I know he does a show on SiriusXM.
Yeah.
He does one with Bruce Murray, our buddy Bruce Murray. And I don't care what his thoughts are. That's his thoughts. That's his opinion. But to me, I'm saying there's no comparison. You can't compare the two. You know what I'm saying? And weren't there coaches who were saying that he's not good enough to start and he wanted to start? He didn't want to be a backup at some juncture? And so, hopefully somebody gives him a chance now and he goes in, and if he gets a job, he gets a job. The problem is everybody has to take a side. I don't want him to play. He should never play again.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
What, you want him to play?
Give him a shot. I'd love to see if he could beat somebody out.
I would too. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to sit here and cry and do shows where, oh, my God, look what they're doing to Kaepernick. And then the biggest coward is Roger Goodell. I mean, you want to talk about a whimpering cuck. That is Roger Goodell sitting in his basement, the man who is a tough guy. And now Jerry Jones is going to be in a tough spot now. He hasn't said anything yet. Remember, Jones is the guy who forbade his players from kneeling.
Right.
And now you got every player now they're going to kneel. And if they want to kneel, go kneel.
Now, Tony, is it your position that no matter what, nobody should be blackballed?
I don't think anybody should be blackballed unless they committed a crime. I mean, people who commit crimes. There are wife beaters. There are people who have killed people who haven't been blackballed.
Right.
This guy, remember, the one thing that bothered me about Kaepernick, and he gets a pass for this, he wore socks that had pigs on the socks.
I know.
Okay? He wore socks that had police depicted as pigs. I don't like that. I'm not a cop, but I guarantee you that's why cops and a lot of people don't like the guy. Not because whether he can play or not. They don't like people disrespecting the police.
Right.
Wearing shirts with Che Guevara and stuff. People are offended by that.
And Castro, I think.
And Fidel Castro. Yeah. Again, it doesn't bother me because I don't really care about that stuff. But if I was a police officer, I would never give a cent to support Colin Kaepernick. Because when you go that far and you're wearing socks that depict police as pigs, what message is that sending? Where's the unity there? That's the problem that I think.
But
and he makes a lot. And by the way, he's got a lot. He makes a lot of money, and he's getting a lot of donations to promote his causes. So he's obviously doing okay.
Oh yeah, he must be doing all right. Nike, I think, pays him, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And good for him. I'm one who never is about punishing someone, but the whole thing, the way this whole thing was handled, has been an absolute joke.
Yes.
And now everybody's got to apologize for not giving him a chance to go. Even Pete Carroll, I should have hired him a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Yeah, that was like
I
a
had
week
a
and a half
chance,
ago,
and I should have. No, look what I did. This is called guilt. You either want to hire the guy or you don't.
The cancel culture and the blackballing both are in the same category. It's like preventing somebody from earning a living is never good. If there's somebody out there that is willing to hire somebody with whatever they've done, then that's the way it should be.
Exactly. That's the way I always looked at stuff. Nobody had to hire me. I didn't force anybody. I didn't go in and protest and say, how come I don't have a job? How come I'm not making big money like I was a few years ago? I work for people that want me to work for them. That's how it works. That's how all of this works. I'm not oppressing Dean. I didn't oppress him. He has a right to put his picks on Twitter. People will take his opinion or not.
Dean's saying he's being
oppressed by the show. He hasn't been throttled, though. I'll show him what a real throttling is when I see him the next time.
South Philadelphia style.
Damn right, pal. Because you know what? You come into this house, you know what happens, Dean.
You come into our house, you should get your behind kicked.
Exactly right.
Why are you guys trying to hold Dean down?
The one reason you should hold Dean down, he's a Boston guy who lives in Florida. He's like all these Boston guys. All these Red Sox and Patriot fans. They got bad attitudes, those people, Harry. I don't have time for that.
Now, you're painting a broad brush there, Tony.
All right, most of them have bad attitudes.
People say the same thing about Philadelphia people.
Well, they're right about Philadelphia. I'm the first guy to rip people in this city when they do stupid stuff. I never defend bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Dean said, now that's a legit reason, see?
Right.
There's common ground in everything, in every argument, Harry. Everything you talk about. By the way, it's Tyler Reddick. I know people didn't realize I was joking around, Harry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Did you see now that NFL teams have to designate tiers? Tier 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, not Tears for Fears.
No, not Tears for Fears.
I have to catch
Although
their
they have
tears.
to pretend they're crying when they're so upset. Maybe the celebrity should make another video of all these people crying in football. I know there's no crying in baseball, but there will be crying in football this year.
So
Harry.
tier 1, 2, 3.
Tier 1, 2, and 3 for their employees and turn the plans into the league office 7 days before the first mandatory date for players to report. And they divide up all of their employees into these tiers. And then those people are only allowed certain access to certain places in the facilities. And it's all this, social distancing.
You know who makes a lot of money with this? Lawyers who put all this paperwork.
Yeah. Yes.
113-page reports. It's all these lawyers and people with copy machines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all this stuff is sent on the internet
So
now,
it's
so you don't
kind
have
of
to print the 113-page reports.
It's kind of like when we have Super Bowl credentials and we're only allowed, like our credential only allows us here and here and here.
Some can get you on the field. Some you're just allowed in the media or the auxiliary media.
Exactly. Tired of it. Do we have any more strapper calls, Robin?
We do not, but we have updates.
Let's go to an update. Let's go to Florida.
Shall we go to Florida?
Yeah. Can you give us the Florida music in there, Joe? Because I don't have it loaded in here. Just because it doesn't really become an official Florida update unless we go to Florida.
Well, is it safe to go back to Florida?
Depends on who you talk to. Depends on which columnist you read. Let's go to our columnist. Your correspondent, ladies and gentlemen. She keeps an eye, ear, nose, and throat on Florida. Miss Robin.
Dateline, Key West, Florida, Tony.
Oh, I love Key West. Can I go down there now? You're not allowed in without an ID. You have to live there, Harry.
Is that right?
Yes, they do not allow people in without masks, even if you can't if you don't prove that you live in Key West. But this isn't that story, though, right?
No, this is not that story. A man who was driving a rental car led police on a 20-mile high-speed chase through the Florida Keys.
Did they go over that opening on the bridge that they did in True Lies? Where the cars go over and they go in the water, because that bridge is still there. The old bridge of the Florida Keys.
Right,
remember?
but they use it as a fishing bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But that was the original, and they blew that up intentionally so that boats can go and people can fish around it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, Vitaly Kovalev, 35 years old.
Wait, didn't he play for the New York Rangers back in the day? He was a defenseman, I believe.
I think so.
Formerly of New York, formerly of Germany. You know those Germans, they make good stuff. Well, he apparently was late for a flight, and when he was speeding,
so he was leaving the Keys and heading back to Miami. Okay.
He was heading back to Miami to catch a flight.
And it's only a 2-lane road most of the way, right? That drive is crazy.
He was driving a 2020 white Ford Mustang.
Oh, not the new Bronco.
No,
that wasn't
not the
available.
new Bronco.
That's
not until
next
July
week.
9th or
yeah,
something.
Right.
Exactly.
But he was going northbound. He was reaching speeds of 86 miles per hour on that. I mean, that's
I've done that trying to get back from Key West.
That's Holland. But he drove past Stock Island, Boca Chica, Rockland, Big Coppet, and Shark Keys. I mean, that was quite a ways with police chasing him.
Did he stop at least down at where did they get him?
When they finally pulled him over, he said that, I was late for a flight. I got to catch this flight. You got to let me go. So why would you not just stop, get your ticket, and then go this? But
how far away was he from the flight and the airport?
He was all the way down in the end.
So he was at Key West. He leaves Key West.
And he's got to go to where?
To
Miami.
In Miami to catch this flight. The deputies ended up having to put the spikes out. He continued driving.
Even after he ran over the spike strips?
The car's rear and front tires. He finally began losing control of the car before finally losing complete control near the Kemp Channel Bridge, whichever that is. I don't know where that is.
Well, at least it was a rental car. You know what they say? You know what they say? What's the difference between a monster truck and a rental car, Harry?
What's that?
There's some places you wouldn't take a monster truck. You know what I'm saying? And this guy had a rental car, and he rode it hard and drove it wet. Took it home wet. Wow. Did he make his flight, by the way, after that?
I don't think so.
Well, couldn't he have just flown out of Key West to Miami?
Should have. Yeah, it's a small airport, but they do have connecting flights.
Sure they do.
He was finally charged with fleeing, eluding, obstructing justice, and reckless driving. Oh, and then when he gets to the hospital...
Was he involved in the Russian collusion, though? I mean, this guy could probably be a Russian asset trying to influence the outcome of the 2020 election.
When he was finally taken to the hospital, that's when he tells everybody, oh, by the way, I'm also positive for COVID-19.
Oh, on top, it's a little cherry on top.
Of course.
Give him a roaring round of applause. Excuse me while I hock a loogie in your direction, officer.
So how did he know he's positive?
I have no idea, but to me,
He's trying to scare him away. Oh, okay, we won't touch it now. Just go right ahead, pal. We need to put spike strips down in the cities when all these kids with these dirt bikes and stuff.
God, I would love to do that.
And these four-wheelers, and they're doing like popping wheelies in the middle of the street. That's why I'd like to deploy the spike strips. That would be fun to watch, like 30 all illegal bikes, by the way. Dirt bikes, four-wheelers. Have you ever seen those dudes?
Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
You need to get
and they go out in packs, and they terrorize neighborhoods.
They're not terrorizing. They just think it's fun.
Well, no, they're weeding in they are definitely terrorizing the people that drive.
They're doing dangerous stuff.
Yes. That is how come spike strips sound really fun watching that.
I got to go buy some and make some own. Are there the programs on the in the internet? There's got to be build your own spike strips, right?
Build your own spike
strips. I can deploy them.
Don't you get those at like a police surplus store?
I also feel if you viewed something like that, you'd end up on some sort of militia watch list.
Exactly.
If you're trying to figure out how to make.
Excuse me. So, what are you building in your basement down there?
Oh,
some spike strips. They come in handy.
A very suspicious purchase at a store this afternoon.
What were those things that used to play?
Radio host walked in.
Jacks, right? The jacks. They had the little the pointy things.
Yeah, the jacks. Yeah,
jacks. You could just buy some of those and go, oops, they fell out my window.
Exactly right. No, I got to go make us a couple spike strips. Just roll that thing out. It's like a carpet. Roll it out right across the street, roll out, and then they go over it. You think I could use, what kind of nails you have? They think they have in there? They got to be...
D. Conrad and Vegas. Is it on the wish list, Tony?
Yes.
The Amazon wish list?
Or, when you're doing when you're laying carpeting, those spike strips, they have the wood with the little things that stick up.
Yeah.
I don't know if they go deep enough to bust a tire open.
They wouldn't bust a tire.
No, they'll bust your kneecap if you kneel on it accidentally or you put your hand down on one of those spike strips that hold the edges of carpeting around the trim.
Or your knee.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Although I had a screw that was only about maybe an inch long that penetrated.
Oh, yeah, and then it gets into the that's the last time I got a flat because they were doing all this construction, and you never know. And luckily, the guy around the corner pulled it out and put a plug in it.
Put a plug in it, yeah.
But if you hit it in the wrong spot, your tire's shot.
Right.
But if you get it in the right hole, so to speak, which you have no control over.
Now, Tony, since we are doing updates right now, do you want to go to India for the next one really quick?
Absolutely. Just hold the curry. Just a little taste of curry. I don't want an overpowering curry. Let's go to India. And your correspondent, Miss Robin. Back-to-back updates, Harry. You're not getting this anywhere.
I prefer Thai curry to Indian curry.
Dateline Kanpur. Tony, I believe it's made the rounds. Did you see the monkey that is running down an alley and like tries to grab a little girl and takes off with her and then drops her?
Yes.
Well, that monkey named Kalua,
That funky monkey?
has been sentenced to a lifetime behind bars. That is, yes, it is. You can actually, in India, they have sentenced Kalua, who...
Did he have any cream to go along with it?
How cool is that?
I hear you.
Kalua apparently belonged to a businessman who died, and the monkey was let free. Unfortunately, during the businessman's life, he allowed this monkey to drink alcohol, and the monkey became an alcoholic.
And the line broke, the monkey got choked, and we all got together with a little slow boat, clap, clap. Remember that song?
No.
Yeah, come on.
Never heard it.
No.
Come on.
Do not remember this.
That's the chick who did the name game, Shirley Ellis. Shirley Ellis did the name game, and then she did a follow-up called the Clap Clap song.
Well,
Sorry.
since the
Not Rob
businessman,
Ellis, then.
since the businessman died and the monkey was let loose, he has bitten over 250 people, one of whom died from the bite.
Wow.
And according to reports, the animal control and police officers, they caught Kalua. And they brought him to the Kanpur Zoo and left him in isolation for months, trying to wean him off of alcohol because he'd become so aggressive. Well, it turns out it wasn't because he was an alcoholic. He was just an a-hole because he continued his aggressive behavior, and so now he is permanently behind bars.
Not the brass monkey, that funky monkey from the Beastie Boys. You remember that song?
Yes, I do.
Brass monkey.
I don't know what this clap clap song is.
I'll have to play it now. All right? Can we play this?
Oh, fine.
No, I want to play
You
it.
have to let...
I know. Can you play it for me? I have my machine on. You have this one on? It's in my computer.
Your channel's up.
Here we go. This is the song, Shirley Ellis, the Clap Clap song, follow up to the name. A joke, and we all went together in a little rowboat. Clap, clap, bring it up.
No.
Okay, that's
7
enough.
seconds.
All right,
You can
that's
only
enough.
play a certain amount of.
That's all right. I haven't heard that song in 20 years, and I still nailed
You
it.
know every word.
Yes.
Damn right.
What
man.
year was that?
That had to be late 60s, early 70s.
Because the name game. I know
Yeah, that
that
was
song.
her big hit.
Yeah.
But that was the follow-up. It's
Okay.
like Chuck Me Checker had this twist, and then he had
Yeah.
Let's Twist Again like we did last summer.
Yeah, really
Basically the same
innovative.
song, yeah.
He's very innovative.
The sequel, the twist, the sequel.
Let's twist again.
Like we did last summer, baby. Oh, you're not getting this anywhere else, Harry. I'm not getting the sticks out today. No, I'm sorry. I'm worn out from Father's Day weekend. Coming back, 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. Now, Dean's on the Twitch stream. How about calling in, Dean, from Loud Bags? I need a bag update. We need that next, so stick around.
Mike Brown. Boy, these NBA teams just recycle coaches.
Did he get another job? Where's he going now?
He might be getting the Knicks job.
I thought they wanted the guy from San Antonio,
And
the
he
assistant coach.
Probably interviewed him, but
It'd be such a Knicks thing to do if they
I know.
brought him back around.
I know.
There's that Ryan Blaney. He's led 248 laps this season, the most laps led by a guy who hasn't won a race, Harry.
Now I saw something where the teams are trying to get Jason Kidd because then he might lure Giannis, they're hoping. What a joke.
I think Giannis is going to end up going to LA.
Of course he will. Everybody's going to wind up playing for either the Clippers or the Lakers.
Well, and they said that there's a strong possibility the Lakers can get all 4 of his brothers on the Lakers with him.
Look at that 3 wide like that.
I know. That's at Talladega. That's a big track right there, Super Speedway, Harry.
Tri-oval.
It is a tri-oval down there.
I've been trying to find a baseball update, like refreshing it every minute.
That was the first track I went to when I lived in Birmingham. I went down to Talladega. That's where I saw all of the Alabama boys. Neil Bonnet, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty. Is that Joey Logano moving up?
CPKSB, peace out. See you in the mañana.
CPK, isn't that California Pizza Kitchen?
Yes, it is. Dean Loudback says, I will call you coming out of the break. Just call now.
Call now.
Call now. Big Mullen has a pet monkey named Bubbles.
How about that clap song? That was impressive, was it not?
It is impressive, especially when we turned it off and you continued
And you kept
singing.
going.
That's why I remember the 369, the goose drank wine, the monkey chewed tobacco on the streetcar line. I mean, come on, man. They don't write songs like that anymore.
Great lyrics, man.
The great Shirley Ellis.
They ripped that off of Bob Dylan.
Hit the F and post says, Tony, your drawl is spot on. Did you pick up a drawl when you were down in Alabama?
No, you just automatically fall into it.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up. It's easy to do a southern drawl.
But that means you're picking it up when you go down there.
I can pick up anything. I can do Brits. I can do Aussies.
You cannot do Brits.
Yes, I can.
Go for it. You can't even. You cannot do an Aussie or a Brit.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. You can't even understand them when they're talking. Dean Lab, free Dean from Clearwater when you call. No Dean, WGHD Dean. You are eliminated. You do not qualify. What is it called? You're not eligible. You are not eligible for this.
Ineligible.
You are ineligible. Dean, Robin, no one asked you. They didn't have to ask. I volunteer this fabulous information.
I love that Matt Black Toyota, though. I love that. That number 11 car, Matt Black Toyota. See that baby up there?
Yeah, up on the...
That's that number 11 car.
I think... Oh, no. This is the yellow car that we're looking at from.
There's only 3 cars. There's Chevys, Toyotas, and Fords. That's it.
Yeah, what are they? Chevy Malibus, Toyota Camrys.
The Ford Mustangs.
And the Mustangs, right?
Are those the only models that are allowed to? Or
no, that's because those are the only 3 car companies that are just cranking out these cars now. There used to be all kinds of
But anybody could be involved in it, right? It doesn't have to.
No, they have to buy in. You know, there used to be Pontiacs. There used to be a lot of different GM cars, but now there's a GM, there's a Ford, and then there's a foreign car, which is the Toyotas.
Dean, come on. AJ in San Antonio. I've done an Aussie and a Brit, but I'm not talking about the accent.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Oh, yes, this is the show that answers questions and then questions answers, Harry. Meanwhile, let's go to a man on the phone who has our next big promotional extravaganza that we will unsheath on this show for our listeners, Harry. Of course, he is the great Dean from loudbagsinc.com.
Not to be confused with Dean in Clearwater.
Who's just a loud bag down there in Clearwater.
or loud money, or he's just Moneybags Dean.
Yeah, and he's. Some people say he's the D-bag word down there, but that's not me because he's a friend, and I don't call my friends douchebags. All right, Dean, what's going on with the bags now? We got another bag contest coming up, and people can still go on and buy the bags and get a 25% discount. And go check out the site, loudbagsinc.com, and unbelievable assortment of bags.
But thank you. Just so you know, I do promotions on LinkedIn and Twitter, and I only give people a 20% discount. So you are the only group that gets a 25% discount.
Well, now, are you hooked up to an EKG machine there, Dean?
I had a call coming in, and I'm actually just using a brand-new headset I received. My buddy from University of Missouri, Andy Limbaugh, and yes, he's the cousin of Rush, is involved with this device called Z-Bones.
Well, Megadittos, I think you're supposed to say. Are you? I don't know.
Oh, is that the one that uses your jawbone to... Yeah, I've heard of those.
Isn't that connected to the neck bone?
Yeah, exactly. So it rests on your jawbone, and the vibration goes right through to your your eardrum.
Oh, I feel it, the vibration. As Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch sang many, many years ago. Huh? Remember that?
Yeah, so somebody's going to be lucky to have a golf bag like Harry and Tony with the show logo and their name embroidered on the bag. And you tell me when you want to give it away. You want to do it on Friday or next Monday?
Well, 4th of July is next weekend. You realize that?
Yeah.
Next Friday.
Next
Not this
Friday.
Friday, the 26th. Next Friday is the 3rd. Now, when is the official holiday? Is it the Friday or the Monday after? Is it the 3rd or is it Monday?
I think it's both
July
this year,
6th?
Tony.
It would take both days off?
I think we take both.
4-day weekend? How many day weekend? All right, so we only have a week to do this. Well, actually, we have this week and next week. By Wednesday and next week, we got to get this baby settled.
Well, they're not going to get the bag right away because it's going to take me a few days.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand. So the last time we did it, we had people go onto the Twitch stream, right?
Yeah, Robin set that up.
Yeah, Robin.
Yes.
So remember now, you're going to set the rules again, Rob?
I will do the same thing. It'll be on the Twitch stream where they will put in the hashtag. I'll set that up when we start it, and every time you put that hashtag in there, you get one entry. And you're only allowed one entry. So it'll automatically, it's really handy that way.
Not one entry or one entry a day?
No, well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
The last time it was just one entry per person.
One entry per person. So that's why Dean, because a lot of people thought Dean fixed it. He only got in one time, and it was done electronically. We didn't put any names in a hat, right?
Correct.
It was done
Yeah,
by
that
a
was
computer.
legit.
It was done by a robot somewhere.
Yeah, and he got incredibly lucky because if we had chosen it, he would not have won.
Exactly right. Hell, I ain't giving him a $500 golf bag.
Hell no. But yeah, so we're going to do something similar this time.
Dean has asked me to go to bat for him to see if he can be entered in this contest also.
Well, he can be entered, but there's no way he wins because if his name gets drawn again, he'll immediately be disqualified.
You just hit the button again, Robin.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly right.
You must live in the lower 48, though. No, you don't have to live in the lower 48, do you?
I sure as heck would prefer it since I'm paying for the shipping.
Yeah, exactly.
Alaska and Hawaii, that's got to be a pretty big
And we
shipping
have people listening in Australia, Singapore. I think that would be a little bit difficult to
Aren't they in the lower 48?
Yeah.
I mean, 48 hours. They're within a 48-hour time slot of where we... No, anyway, we'll just do it for people in the United States. I'm sorry if you're in Alaska or Hawaii, you're not eligible for this prize. Unless you would willingly pay for me to take the bag... To take the bag and deliver it to you. You pay my expenses, and I'll bring the bag to you either to Alaska or Hawaii. How about that?
That sounds good.
But I do have accounts in Hawaii and Alaska. Anchorage Golf Course is one of our accounts.
Can you get Harry on Anchorage before it becomes winter again and he has to go up there and crab fish with the Deadliest Catch crew?
Yes, I can get him on that golf course.
Can you get him in the Bering Sea? That's what I want to know.
Only with a flotation device.
An approved flotation
Is there
device.
an Anchorage Open this summer, or did they cancel that?
I think that's canceled.
Well, you know what?
That
So
was a
this is
Corn
what I'm
Ferry
thinking.
event.
I think that we will start the contest this Wednesday, the 24th, and that the drawing will be done on Wednesday, July 1st.
How's that?
Okay.
Hey, now here's an idea. Like when I'm involved with charity golf tournaments, I always tell them the more people that can walk away from your golf tournament that have won something and feeling good about your event, the better. So why don't we do 3 drawings? The first one wins a golf bag, the second one wins a driver head cover, and the third one wins a utility head cover.
That's nice.
That's
Absolutely.
cool.
That's a good job out of you, Dean. Let me give you a roaring round of applause. This is like bonus content.
How about that?
It's like extra innings in baseball or extra period in hockey. Free hockey.
Free hockey.
Exactly. Beautiful. Yeah, let's do that. We'll have 3 winners next week.
Okay. Happy to do it.
Beautiful.
Now, is Dean in Clearwater eligible to win a head cover?
No.
I'll give him one of my used head covers. They have Tony Bruno on the
You
side.
got the putter head cover.
I got
up
the
there.
putter head cover, the
Yeah.
loud bag, the American flag. This is going to be the American flag one, right?
Right. The official name of it's called Flagadelic.
Flagadelic. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Because one of the designs we've done that looks like from the 60s is called Shagadelic.
Well, I love
and
Shagadelic.
In clothing has done in black and white and blue and orange and green. So they just sold the name from Flagadelic and used it from Shagadelic and used it for the patriotic golf bag.
That's an awesome job. Well, Dean, of course, it's loudbagsinc.com, loudbagsinc.com. You can see all the bags and all the other golf stuff that Dean puts together down there. Awesome, awesome stuff, man.
And Bruno 25.
And Bruno 25, if you'd like to buy a bag, and
25%
25% off.
The only place
exactly
that you can
right.
get the 25% off is through the Tony Bruno Show using Bruno 25.
Bruno 25. And you must be 25 at least if you want to be with Bruno, because I don't want to mess around with any underage. You know what I'm saying, Harry? 25.
Hey,
age appropriate.
If you don't have to give me this answer now, but if somebody wants to buy or goes to our website and uses your discount code, let me know if you want to give them permission to put your logo on their bag.
Well, if they want to, can they put that when they order it?
I'll have to see the order come in and then contact them.
Okay, that's the best way to do it, because I can't even keep track of people on Twitter or Twitch right now.
Well, no, I just wanted to know whether I have permission from you to put the logo
absolutely.
on there.
If they want the logo on there, absolutely.
And just so that you all know, this Flagadelic 9-inch
nails
9-inch staff golf bag is retail value of $324.
Quality item.
So that is a very, very nice quality item.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.
So with the embroidery, it would actually be over $350.
Exactly right.
Sweet.
Yeah, this isn't some stick-on sticker thing. This is embroidered. This is a real deal, man. Well, thank you, Dean. We really appreciate it. We'll check back with you next week. So we'll start it on Wednesday, and then next Wednesday, July 1st, we will name the – and you know what that is next Wednesday? It's appropriate. It's Canada Day. Canada Day will be the end of this.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Dean. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, man. There he is, Dean.
That's pretty cool, man. Not only get the golf bag, you get maybe a head cover out of it.
Well, no, 3 different people are
I know,
going to win.
but
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you don't win the golf bag, you might
Yeah.
get, a driver head cover or a utility.
And you
wood.
have your driver
Now that's
cover
a
right.
putter.
That's a
putter
putter
cover.
cover.
Sorry, putter cover right behind you that you got for your birthday, Tony.
I know, it's beautiful. Now, if I only put my bag in all my clubs in the bag and go out and hit some balls, you know what I'm saying, there?
I was talking about you on Saturday.
About me playing golf. I need to get out. I need to get
Zabin
out.
wants to play with us.
Yeah, we should go out. You know what I'm saying? We should go out before the summer's over. Which just started
Isn't the
yesterday.
summer already over?
It is for most people, yeah. It is for a lot of writers. They want it to be over.
I think the year's over for
I think
some
Shaq's
people.
rooting against the NBA coming back even more than ever.
Well,
Remember
yeah,
he was
he
on the show?
He doesn't want to work.
Now he's like, wait, all right, guys, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Or maybe he's trying to convince TNT that he doesn't have to be part of this whole thing.
Right.
So he can go out and play golf and enjoy the rest of the summer before the season comes back a month later once it's all over. But anyway, we're here because we love sports, and hopefully we'll have it. You know what I'm saying?
You know whose birthday it was today, or it is today, that we missed?
Who?
Ilya Brizgalov.
No, Brizzy?
Yes.
So humongous big, man. I hope he had a humongous big birthday cake
Do you have
wherever
any
he
drops
is.
of his
Not
in
in
that
this machine. No,
Oh,
not in this
yeah,
one.
he was classic.
Loved him, man. Grizzy. Is he still in the league, or is he playing over in
No,
Russia
I think
now?
if he's playing overseas.
It's a good job out of him,
Yeah.
man.
He's actually 40 today.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Probably still play. Huh? Is he butterfly, or is he going to do? I don't care about Brizgalov. Sheepers. Anyway, we want to thank everybody for participating today, Harry. Kyle Mann from Babylon B, Harry. How great is that site?
Following you on Twitter.
That's an honor.
One of only 54 people.
They could have chosen
For
anybody.
accounts, yeah.
Like Temple used to say. You could have chosen any school. Penn State, Stanford, Yale, Northwestern. But no, you choose Temple. Remember that ad? I think Bill Cosby used to do those.
This race is getting good.
It really is. We're down to the final laps.
Well, stage 2.
Oh, stage 2.
Yeah.
Exit stage left for us. And we got to thank also Bob Nightingale awaiting the final verdict. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. God bless America. It's still the greatest country on earth, no matter what these idiots say. Good night, everybody.
All right, people. It was a beautiful, beautiful Monday. And 3 hours just flew by, as you all noticed.
Did you see this story? The man wearing American flag was arrested for scaling the ride at Casino Pier in Seaside Heights, New Jersey.
Dude, that
The
sounds...
skyscraper ride. Look at that sumbitch. I like that camo on that car, too. You like that?
There's a lot of cool paint jobs.
Yeah.
And it's the Camaro now.
Yeah, it's a Camaro,
for Chevrolet, not the
Monte Carlo. No, the Ford's the Mustang.
Ford's a Mustang. I said...
I thought it was the Malibu, but it's not. It's the Camaro. It looks really cool, actually.
You know, those aren't really their cars. They're just basically bodies
I
that
know.
they throw on top of a chassis. It's not even anything remotely resembling a car.
What is that?
Available intelligent all-wheel drive.
This is mine. This is stupid.
Okay, can you turn, Tony? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Robin, I didn't open it up. I'm looking at the site, and, of course,
I
it's
know.
CBS 3.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, there live a happy little mountain.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays. Did you miss any of the show? Subscribe and download the audio available on all your favorite podcast apps such as iTunes, Spreaker, etc. Hope to see you back here live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 211 and Twitch.tv.
Investigating a double shooting that killed a man and left a woman in critical condition. It happened just after midnight.